Three, two, one. We are live. Welcome back to another live stream episode, everybody. By the way, you're not going to be able to see me on the Discord. You're just going to have to look on the YouTube for the comments and to see me, I guess. But I'm here with Vinny. If you want to give an introduction to yourself, we can start there, I guess. That's always something to introduce yourself.
Sure, man. I'm an Israeli Jew. I live in Canada. Lived like almost, I don't know, half my life here, half my life there. I'm in the food industry. I run a bakery, a wholesale company. Guess that's kind of the gist of it.
Um, well, what should we talk about? That's some interesting things. We could have thought about a little bit more to talk about, but as far as the whole Israel thing, I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of questions um,
Oh,
that you can
100%.
answer.
100%.
But I already know all the
Yep.
gist of everything. Pretty much anyone could ask.
I got a contentious one for you. I got a real contentious one
Hmm.
for you that will like it might piss off some Christians, but hopefully in a good way. And I think we kind of like loosely talked about this like the other day. Uh, if you're down.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm down for it.
Okay. So I'm gonna like just for the sake of like rage baiting a little bit, I'm gonna say that like I blame uh actually blame how soft a lot of Christians are for a lot of the issues happening in the Middle East, which is like a wild take, but like I can like explain this. I can explain this. Like I was thinking about it, and what I think is like so interesting about Christians compared to like the other religions is you guys like you're Christian, right?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
All right. You guys are like not particularly concerned with like land. Like everything with you guys is about like pilgrimages and like, going to the holy sites and like having like your traditions. But like, isn't it like interesting that like, okay, so where's your first ever Church of Jesus Christ? It's was like literally in the same, it was in the top floor of Mount Zion. So like the tomb of David is the bottom floor. The Last Supper is on the top floor. The Ottomans fucking conquer it. They convert the whole thing into a mosque, right? When Jews take over, they actually once again convert the bottom floor to David's, to respect the Jews, and the top floor back to Christians, right? I've never heard any Christians ever talking about like, this. Like, think about it, the fervor that you have these like Muslims talk about, like that's our holiest site, Al Aqsa Mosque. Sure, it was built on top of a Jewish temple, but it's our holiest site. I've never heard a single Christian be like, dude, like what the fuck? Like, how come Jerusalem isn't like Christian? Like, why do Arabs have it? Like, like who was there? Was it Jesus Christ first, or was it the Muslims that conquered it? Like, fuck knows, way later. So it's like I feel like there's such a like soft, loving approach with Christians in some ways that like in a weird way it doesn't actually help. Like I think that like it would have been better off, quite frankly, if like maybe Christians were a little more land hungry,
Well, what
to
if
be
we look?
honest.
What if
Because
we
like
go back and look? I don't know. Maybe this is a horrible example, but maybe we look at something like Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, like when they were having conflicts in some ways of another, they were trying to keep Christianity predominantly in the area, and that was in the 90s. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I agree with you 100%, and you could even make the argument like this is Eastern Europe. This isn't even the West. But as far as Americans go, no, Americans are not really worried about like any Christian like holy sites. Like most Americans are just so leftist. They're like, yeah, the whole thing's Palestine. It should just all be Muslim. So there's not
yeah,
really
yeah,
much chance of them like valuing it. And these are even people that call themselves Christian. Like they don't know the history of their holy land. Like if you're gonna be Christian, you
yeah.
should at least know that like that's not Palestine.
Well, I mean, like, dude, like it's like I hope that like whoever like actually like hears it like maybe like stops and like maybe Googles that shit and then just quickly double checks like, hey, where was the first Church of Jesus Christ? Where's the Last Supper? And it's like Mount Zion. Does the word Zion sound familiar? Like maybe why would we say we're Zionists? Because we pray to Mount Zion in Jerusalem. And it's like it's almost fucked to me that like Christians don't view it in the exact same way. Because like where is your literal like where's your OG? Where's Jesus from? Literally there, like actually there. Do you know what I mean? So it's very fucked up to me that like there's such a almost like pacifist approach to. I hear what you're saying about Croatia and all these other countries, but dude, this is where the Last Supper was. I mean, what other place? Like to me, if anybody's going to be arguing over land, it's going to be Jews and Christians. And then even ironically, like they're just going to end up living together because that's what you see now. But those two should be arguing about it. Like it's crazy for me to even hear Muslims talking about it. Like the easiest talking point they'd have is like, well, yeah, the bottom used to be Jewish and the top used to be Christian, but we took it all over and we converted it into a mosque. So like, why can't we keep it? That's just kind of how it was. And that's a shit argument to me. Do you know what I mean? Because that would be the argument that anywhere like Muslims conquer, they have a right to stay there forever. It's just like how it is. But
Yeah,
I
I
digress.
mean,
Anyways,
the Muslims have an unfair advantage because our quote unquote first world democratic countries are forced to let in their mosques, but their countries are like dictatorships, so they don't have to let any Christian churches there. So we're fucked. There's not much we can. How are we going to defend against that?
yeah, yeah. Was it you actually that I was listening? I was watching a bunch of your YouTubes the other day, like all morning in the bakery. I watched like hours of it. Was it? I can't remember if it was you or whether I was watching something else. When, but anyways, tell me, was it you that said like, how is it that like in any other country you can't have a mayor who's just like Christian? You can't even build a fucking church, but you can 100% come to America as a Muslim and just like become a mayor, become a senator, anything you want. You
Yeah,
know, was
that's
that you?
horrible. Yeah, that was me. I talk about that all the time. Like, I think a big part of America's problems would be gone if we just didn't let people from any other country come. Like, we don't let our president be born in Pakistan or Africa, but we're fine with our mayors and our governors and people that are in other political positions. Like, what is the difference between one and another? We shouldn't let any foreigners get into our political positions.
Yeah. But you know what though, dude? As I think about that, like I try to play that out, right? How do you actually fix that? Because like, okay, let's say that fine, we set a policy of just let's just say
You
no
have to be
immigrants,
born here.
period.
Yeah.
Right, but like then the weird thing is it's like, okay, what's the effect? So that means it's not as awesome of a country in the sense where like it doesn't have the same kind of like, I don't know, moralities of let's be equal and blah blah blah, all that loving stuff. But then less people want to come. But the reason less people want to come is in fact because it's no longer founded on all those kind of countries. Because like, dude, I don't actually give a shit like what color people's skin are when I hire them. Like, it's always merit based. You know, like I've had a guy apply to me before being like, I'm a proud gay baker, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't add shit and it doesn't take anything away. Like your gayness doesn't make its way into the dough. Like I don't give a fuck. It's like merit based.
What if he makes
So I
it
don't want to like,
rainbow though? What if he makes like the croissants rainbow?
I guess, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like I just still would want it to be merit based. So like I don't know if you like make it so that like nobody can ever immigrate. Do you actually think the country would be better?
No, we have to let people immigrate. I don't want. I'm not one of those people. That's too far extreme. That's too far right for me. I'm not that far right. I'm
Yeah,
more of like a moderate conservative. I think we should have like a couple million immigrants a year, maybe like the same amount that we have now. Like 1 to 2 million is a fair number, but maybe we could have it a little bit lower. Like if we just had like a couple 100,000 for 2 years while we fixed our immigration system so it could help people come in faster and more people come in, that would be good too. But whatever happens, happens. I just don't want 10 million people in at once. A couple million here and there is fine, but like 10, 20, 30, 40 million, it seems way too much for us at once. Even
dude,
50,000 people can affect a small town.
I 100% agree with you, dude. I actually am with you when you said the other day that there should be just like a pause for a while until shit gets back in order. I'm totally for that, man. Like whenever I hear people argue just against that in any way and they just throw all the feelings of like, but dude, like they might be like separated from their family, they might die, all these things. It's like again, I think I'm so type A. I think everything is a business. You guys in the States, you have a finite amount of money. Like you don't have all the money in the world, like to just throw at everything. And so like if your thought is like, oh, well, this person might starve and die, you can't pay for that. Like it's like saying, you know, if you don't okay, you have $200 in your bank account and you have to spend it all on food and groceries and whatever, and you have $0 left at the end of the week. And I say to you, if you don't give $150 to this African child right now, he's going to die. It doesn't matter how that makes you feel. You can't afford it. So it's as simple as like you can't afford to let these people in. It's almost like because it's not coming out of their direct bank account, they think there's like these unlimited funds, they're just reserve or something. Like it's a weird argument to me in general. Like, there's no money for it. If you got homeless people on the street, there's no money for it. You know, like if your healthcare could use a fixing, there's no money for it.
Yeah, no, our healthcare needs fixing, our homeless needs fixing. We have so many more problems. And the last guy I had on stream was completely okay with it. Here's what he told me. Uh, he said it's okay if an illegal alien immigrant comes into this country and takes a person's job because that person's middle class and they're gonna be middle class anyway. They can get the next job. Like, what kind of mindset is that? Mind you, this guy literally is like a welfare baby. Like he's a quote unquote stay at home dad. Like I don't even know what to
Yeah,
think of that. I mean, that's just delusional.
yeah, yeah. It's fucked, man. You know what's funny is like I still think that your country's ran way better than mine. Like Canada is in a different level of like shit compared to you guys, for real.
Really? Would you ever come to the United States in the future?
Dude, 100%. Like I voted to separate, right? Like it's like Canadians hate on it so much if they're like outside of Alberta where I am, but it's like, dude, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Canada makes like 5.2 million barrels of oil a day. Alberta makes 4.1, which means we make all of it. So yeah, I don't like the rest of the country passing shitty lefty policies that they can't afford, and then what they do is they take all of our funds and they redistribute it.
Yeah, someone
Like,
said Canada's too socialist. That hit the nail on the head. Canada is way too socialist. Well, the last time I went to Canada was like at the end of 2024, and I went to Blue Mountains, which is like a ski resort, like an hour away from Toronto, and it was such a shithole. Like the majority of people there were not even Canadian. It was like 50
yeah,
coon jobs to every white person. And I'm not even saying this in like a racist manner at all. I'm just telling you what the statistics were. Like 50 of them to every one of us. Like I was
there's a
just
lot, man. Like,
shocked.
there's a lot of them, dude. Like, you know what? I gotta be honest. I understand a lot. And I'm gonna get heat for it because like a lot of the crime they keep arresting a lot of people out of India that seem to be committing like arson, fraud, like all sorts of shit, and it's overwhelmingly like Indian, like actually overwhelmingly. But like some of the other side where it's actual students that got fucked over, it's totally for real, dude. Like I saw this one comedian who said it so well because he was talking about how like, Justin Trudeau, the ultimate fucking retard, he fucked our economy so well that like, check this out. So our dollar used to be 1 and 1 with yours. Maybe you could get 99 cents to the American dollar. We were pretty close. And then over his 10 years, we dropped to, and I know this way too well because I have to buy all of my packaging from my bakery. I get it produced in mainland China and I ship it over. And obviously the whole world uses USD. So right now I'm getting 67 cents American to the Canadian dollar. They're fucking Canadian pesos, man. Like it's gross. And so what did we do when we decided to get a new prime minister? We elected the financial minister, the guy who ran the finances for this guy. So it's like the equivalent of like, like shitting your pants and so you change your shirt.
Oh
Like it
my
just it doesn't make sense.
gosh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? It's such a crazy idea, And so what happened is, long story short, look, we like every other country, we have a finite amount of work visas, student visas we can give. Ideally, here's how it's supposed to work. This is how it was with my ex. We check your bank accounts. You're not a criminal. Make sure you got a lot of money in your account, so you're not going to be feeding on our system. You come over here on a student visa, get some good grades, pay for it all. You're going to pay a premium, by the way. That's how it works, because that's what's up. And then afterwards, if you're good at what you did, you got a degree, you can convert that into a work visa. You can start working. Eventually, you can get a permanent residency. Sounds nice and clean. But because our finance minister doesn't know how to manage the economy, he gave out way too many student visas, and now we also don't have enough housing for them. We don't have enough jobs for them. So you got a bunch of these guys that came here, spent crazy money, got a Canadian degree, and we're like, sorry, I don't really have an apartment or a job for you or a work visa, so I guess you're gonna have to go back home. And they're like, what is this? So that's kind of their side, you
Yeah.
know?
The
We fucked that
diploma
up.
mills is crazy.
Yeah. So we fucked it up for them, man. And it's weird, dude. Like, I don't know if you remember any of our other presidents, but they were good, man. Like, they were because, and the reason they were good is because you never heard anything about them. That's how you know they're good, dude. Conservatives are quiet, you know? You do your thing and you don't bother anybody. You make money, you have a family, stay out of trouble. Like, that's what we did. We hunt, we make oil, we sell lumber. people think we live in igloos and shit. Like think about it. Like people used to be like, oh, like do you guys live like it's always -50? That used to be the stereotype, and now it's like, oh, are you guys all like blue haired and you identify as like a squirrel? Like it's
Oh,
wild how far we've come in 10 years, man.
yeah, yeah. And you guys used to have more gun rights and stuff. A lot of stuff changed.
Yeah, yeah. There's sort of like workarounds, like even right now, like so you can't go hunting like right now. Like I love to hunt. You can't hunt like big game right now, but what you can kind of do is that there's a lot of private land that's owned by like natives, like Aboriginals, and you can basically like pay them politely to be like, hey man, since it's your land, can I just like take down some boar and then you can just kind of go hunting there. And you can't get too big of guns, but you can get a decent gun and then you can get it rebarreled. So there's some tricks.
Oh, so
You
you
know what
can
I
just
mean?
get it rebarreled to put a bigger caliber in it. Is that
Yeah,
illegal?
yeah. It's not illegal, but I mean the thing is that like you can like it's still gonna be what kind of gun you can get. You know what I mean? You can't just like you can't like put whatever you want into whatever you want, right? So like if I'm gonna rebarrel like my Tika 3X, there's only so much I can put in there.
This guy says gun rights. Are you serious? Yeah.
What's wrong with gun rights, man? Jeez,
Wait till
bro, we
Alberta
need gun
joins
rights,
the USA. Yeah, they're saying they're saying free Alberta.
dude. 100%, like literally 100%. Yeah, I don't know if you've been to Alberta, man, but it's actually so funny how close it is to Texas, because like the most common kind of car on the road is a truck. Like we have like the most like aggressively like redneck culture, and like dude, I got to tell you, when I first moved here from like Israel, it's like a wild culture shock. But they're actually like my favorite people, like my absolute favorite people, and like my whole family feels that way. Even like my mom, she owns a car dealership, and she's like my favorite client. Number one are rednecks, and I'm like, why? She's like, they're straightforward. They just tell you exactly what's up. They don't mess around. They don't get cute and play games, you know? And it's so true, man. It's like it's exactly like that. Like even my customers, the best ones, they're just like super straight up, man. They're just good shit, you know? And they, funny enough, they like I don't know if it's a Canadian thing, but they clearly hate the LGBT, super aggressive. It's not like they hate gay people, they don't give a shit, but they hate the aggressive shoving in your face of blue hair, they, them, forcing you to have the gender pronouns. But they don't say anything.
Yeah, you missed
So
it.
they're
There
still
was
nice
one guy we
people.
were talking to before. He was Orthodox Jewish, and sorry to interrupt you, but this was a little bit off topic. But he was Orthodox Jewish, and he raised his family in every conservative way he could. Took his children to Orthodox school, Orthodox, everything around only Orthodox families. That's it. Like every good New York Jew, and now he's dealing with transgender stuff with his daughter. I would love for him to come on though, but it just goes to show you like even if you put your kids and everyone around the right stuff, they can still get indoctrinated. Like
100%.
especially from other people. I'm pretty sure it was from the internet. He seems to think so too, but he just joined in the Discord today. I thought it was kind of random because I don't think we really talked anything about transgender or anything with Israel like in the last a day or two. But it was definitely interesting. Hopefully, he'll come on the channel. I don't think he would show his
Yeah,
face, but hopefully he'd come on the channel and talk about it.
100%, man. You know what's weird? Dude, this whole transgender thing, I wouldn't even talk about it so much or have anything to say about it if it wasn't shoved in my face. And like I'll actually be straightforward with you, dude. There's nothing even remotely on like my Instagram pages, like anything work related, that says like, by the way, I have family in Ukraine and they got completely bombed the fuck out. I have family in Israel that got bombed the fuck out. I have friends who died, family who died. Like it's a deeply personal thing to me. My female cousin is 18 and she's in the army. So like it affects me, and I don't say a fucking word about it on any of my business pages because like war in Israel is not my identity. And the thing with all the LGBT shit is that it's constantly shoved in my face to the point where influencers came by and tried to cancel me by literally being like, "How come you're the only business on the block that doesn't have a pride flag?" And it's like, well, because why do I give a shit who you're attracted to or what your sexual preferences are. Like like you're coming to buy croissants. I don't give a fuck. Like it just doesn't matter, you know? But they shove it in your face here, like very aggressively. Like it's almost like they want you to know I am a person who has blue hair and I identify as this and this. And I think like I'm sorry to say, but I don't think you're like the most, just I guess I'm gonna call it as a Jew and as an Israeli. I don't have the same level of like, oh, you guys are the most persecuted, so you're so brave for coming out. And I don't shove it in everybody's face. So like, why do you have to shove it in my face? Like, okay, cool, you're gay or whatever you want to call it. Good for you, man. Do your thing. Why do you have to shove it in my face? Why do I need to give a shit? You know?
Yeah, no, it gets pretty bad when it's on television. Also, I saw some oh yeah, there's an entire documentary. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was like an entire investigative documentary because they're wondering why there's so many transgender cartoons on Netflix. Like there's over 15 of them that involve some kind of transgender cartoon characters. That's a little bit weird. I mean, if that's not shoving it down your throat, I don't know what it is.
Um, do you think it's like a contagion, like an actual social contagion?
Yeah, I think it's like a trend and a mental illness and a depends person to person. But
Word. Oh, yo, listen, I'm so happy you got a person. I'm looking at your side chat right now. We have a free Palestine. This is all my dreams come true, bro. I've got a piece of Palestine for him to see right here. Like we talked about, here's a little bit of Gaza. It's getting free for you. It's now on my wall, hanging next to a Picasso. There's your Palestine, bro. It is indeed free. So free I can take the fucking signs from it. There you
yeah,
go.
if you guys are actually wondering, he's being 100% serious. Those are signs from Gaza. So that's stolen
Yeah, yeah,
land
yeah.
from Gaza.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. Yeah,
Gaza, come
totally
get your
stolen.
signs back.
I can't with these people, man. It's so stupid. And like it's funny. I talked to who was it, Chris, the other time, the first time that we met. Or no, it wasn't him. It was somebody else, and he was calling me like an Israeli purist because I was saying that like that 100% we should take all the land, 100%. And it's like if people would stop for 1 second, don't even think about who you like or who you don't like. Forget all the stupid conspiracy theories. Forget about history and just look at like which countries in that area are like, let's just say, flourishing by any metric. We can go with the basics of like how are women treated, gay people treated, what's the happiness level of the population. Let's go into like how many jobs are they creating in the rest of the world? What are they producing? And it's obvious that the quality of life is better in Israel. And it doesn't matter. You can say they're an occupying force, Zionist. Who gives a fuck? The bottom line is, where does an Arab have a better life? Are the 2 million Arabs in Israel having a better life, or are all these Arabs in Gaza having a better life? And it's like,
I agree
if
with you,
that's
but I
not a
can
good,
also test your consistency. I can also test your consistency. So if you're saying that taking over a country and giving the people a better quality of life is a beneficial thing, is that what you're standing on, or is it just this specific
yep,
issue? Because
yep, absolutely.
I could make the same claim about Ukraine. I'm not on either side of the story, but if you look at the salaries in Ukraine, they're about $5,000 a year. If you look at Russian salaries, they're almost touching $20,000 a year. And the quality
Yeah,
of
no, dude,
living in Russia is significantly higher than Ukraine. And many Ukrainians have been moving into Russia long before the war just for better quality of living and better job opportunities in places like Moscow and other big cities.
like I would in some sense agree with you, dude, because like, so first off, let me say this. I'm gonna be clear, but to me, Russia and Ukraine are almost equal post-Soviet hellholes, and most post-Soviet places are kind of hellholes. But like, I'll grant you that like that your point is fair, but I'll say this. Um, the interesting thing about the Palestinians is they have actually proven that they are completely incapable of governing themselves. The Ukrainians, like every post-Soviet hellhole, has proven that post-Soviets are corrupt as a motherfucker. And I speak those languages, right? Like I speak Ukrainian and Russian, so I'm like deeply entrenched. And
Yeah,
so,
I used
like,
to live in Georgia for 7 or 8 months, so I'm used to dealing with all those Russian Ukrainian people.
yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. I got a Slava Iran on your side chat. Attaboy.
Oh
That's it.
Jesus!
Um, no, bro, that's good. We're supporting the right people. That's it. But here's the difference between Ukraine and them. First off, we're directly beside of people where like like for the let's say if you wanted the United States to go and fix the Ukrainian problem, I don't see how that would benefit you because at least for the Israelis, while it would be an expensive exercise, one thing we could at least get is we could at least get like our own safety and security. And then at the same time, they would undoubtedly have a better life. And also, they can't fucking govern themselves. Like they can't. They are literally incapable. Like no matter what, they vote for like the worst fucking people. And I'm gonna take away the emotion of the fact that after the 7th of October, there was an 89% approval rate for Hamas. Like, let's just take that away. That to me shows that they're fucked up and racist. But if you remove that aspect of the emotion, it shows me how fucking stupid they are. And like, I mean that rudely because anybody who wants to say to someone, "Hey, man, you see that guy there? He hit on your girlfriend. You should defend her honor." But the guy's 5 times my size. Yeah, yeah, go fight him, man. You're a dumbass. Don't go fight somebody who's 5 times your size. And Israel is 100,000 times the size of Palestine. So it's like even promoting these people to take up arms in a completely losing battle is not honorable. It's foolish. So there's no metric by which their decisions are like wise, you know? And that's deeper than just like some corrupt dudes at the top who just steal some money. I mean, like, I don't think you're gonna find 87% approval rate of like, Ukrainians saying like, let's go kill all the Russians, or even vice versa. It's a very unique Palestinian thing where like they just I haven't seen them once be like, you know what we should do? We're gonna elect this person who has a strong stance on like building schools. Like it's extraordinary how they constantly through the years govern themselves so poorly.
Did you see
And
what
and
happened
like
today with the government? I heard the Palestinian Authority or whoever's governing over there in Gaza gave their authority away to the UN or something as part of the peace
yeah,
agreement.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like the UN is kind of a pile of shit these days, right? So like I don't really have a lot of faith in that, to be fair. But I don't know, man. Anybody that actually cares, I'm gonna say it openly. I don't actually care about the people in Gaza. I just don't. We do actually have on my server, we have some people from the West Bank area, Judea and Samaria. They're almost a different species, man. What they say literally is that they're like actually annoyed by the people, specifically two people on my server who are friends. They literally constantly tell when we go and you mingle to like Americans and other Arabs, they're like, stop with your fucking free Palestine stuff. We don't need it. Like it's not good. You're promoting people to go to war, and the war ends with us losing, and that means we lose loved ones, and then it just goes in circles. So they don't want to hear it. But in Gaza, man, like it's like I was talking to the other guy in your server the other day when I'm like, if you have an 89% approval rate for Hamas after the massacre and gang rape and all the horrible shit, who am I supposed to feel bad for? Is it the other 11%? So like the what 200,000 people out of and then so there's like what 2 million bad, something like that. 200,000 is good. That's crazy. Like why would I feel bad for 11% of the population when like 89% is totally cool with you just like gang raping and murdering? 89% by the way is an insane number. It's not like it's the majority. It's like basically fucking all. Right? Like if you got 89% on most tests, you did a pretty damn good job. It's not
Yeah.
like you're. So it's just crazy to me, man. Why do you think that it's been so easy for all of the people, both in Canada and the States, to hop on the pro Pally train. Um, Especially because, like, for sure, everybody saw those Instagram videos, right? Like when Hamas was like live feeding the massacre, like everybody saw that. I remember them all seeing it. I remember everybody talking about it for like 3 days before the pro Pally flags came out. But like, why do you think it's just like so easy? Like,
Because
why?
people are easily manipulated. Like if you show, someone 10 10 Instagram videos or 10 reels when you're scrolling, and it says the same message over and over again day after day, then they're going to start believing the shit. And also because people in Canada and in the USA, they have it too easy. They're too soft. They don't have to worry about like stuff, like food and shelter, and they don't really have to worry about their next meal like that. Like it's just too easy for them, I guess. They have to
Yeah.
find something to complain about and something to hate on. And anti-Semitism is already something that has like made its case very like quote unquote strongly. Like they have a lot of
I get.
stuff that could be considered a strong argument to hate so and so in a way. But I'm not
I
saying
mean,
it's a
I.
good argument, but it could be something that people could easily be tricked into believing if they're stupid enough and they're exposed enough.
I mean, like, dude, I guess so, but it's just that like I can easily like because I've had neighbors and I've never had a thought in my mind. Like, I don't know who in the world is like, oh shit, like a Jewish guy moved in next door. Oh my God, like what's gonna happen to my dog? Or I'm so scared he might talk to my daughter. Like, you're not really gonna think that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even notice, by the way, right? Like, let's say if you have three random Christians and three random just Jews. I'm not talking about the like few Hasidic crazy Orthodox. Like, if you just have random Jews like me walking around, random Christians like you walking around, we don't even know what's what. We're just like kind of bound by the fact that we have the same Western values. And like, I'm sorry to say, but like, even in my building right now, this dude moved in. I've been here for 10 years. The first thing he does is complain about my dogs, getting too close to them and this kind of shit. And like, I could say a lot of rude shit, but like, I'm just going to put it this way. I wouldn't have the same feeling if all my neighbors moved in and everybody's in hijabs and they're like supposedly peaceful, but they have their beliefs, yeah, man, I'm probably gonna be thinking twice about like who's hanging around my daughter. I am gonna have a bit of different opinions. So it's like it's weird to me to be like, oh my God, Jews are this, they must be so bad. When I'm like, what's your experience exactly in Canada, the United States? Like, are you running into a lot of Jews praying on the sidewalk, not letting you go into church, or are they cosplaying terrorist attacks, or are they
No,
like
no.
bombing buses? Like,
This sounds like
what are they
another
doing?
religious group. Sounds like the other religious groups, the Muhammad lovers.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Yo, I love that. I love that you just get like a wave of hating trolls. It's kind of like dope to live rent free in their heads in a sense.
What do you think
You know?
about look at this low IQ garbage? Israel versus Israel equals Epstein. Are you joking me right
I love
now?
that.
Is
I
this even a real
love that.
human being? I legitimately wonder, are there real human beings out there that are like this messed up in the mind?
The thing is, bro, it's just like it's a good thing that the rest of the world doesn't like that none of us do the same thing, right? Because whenever I hear like, oh my God, like this must mean it's about Jews, I could just do the same thing and being an idiot, right? I could just be like, dude, like you shoot kids, right? Isn't that what you do in the States? Like, don't you go into schools and just shoot everybody up? Like, that's an American thing, right? Like, isn't that what you do? Like also, like you like to elect zombies, right? Like you guys literally like elected a guy who has brain damage. Like, this is what you do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you like that like your president's wife literally is a cuck as he's getting his dick sucked by a Salvadorian secretary? Like,
Oh
because you
my
you guys are
god.
also because you guys are also cucks, right? Now, I don't mean any of that. I don't have any of those thoughts about Americans, but like, it's the same thing for me to like cherry pick just like some crap that happens in your country and then apply it to you as either a person or to the whole country. So when I hear this Epstein like Israel shit, I'm like, because he's a Jew, is that it? Is that all we got? It's pretty retarded.
The guy streaming in the queue is a creepy what? Who gives a F about your dog? We the people have being blown to bits, homeless people dying of drugs, overdoses in the street, children being trafficked, destroying the middle class.
What is he talking about?
I don't know. He says who gives an F
I don't know
about
what's
your
that have to do
dog.
with my dog, bro.
Who are you
Yeah.
talking about, Samson? Who's streaming with 2 views? Are they watching us on their stream with 2 views? Is that what you're trying to say?
I, this is a good one. Jews think they're living in Exodus and Numbers 2:0. That's perfect, bro. We're definitely living in Exodus. Like my view is exactly that. I believe that I am currently in Egypt, and Moses is about to part the Red Sea for me, and I'm about to wander the desert, bro. This is exactly accurate, 100%.
I actually agree with this
Dude,
comment perfectly. This guy says, I don't care. I care more for a dog. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I don't care. I care more for
legit,
dog. Oh,
legit.
I care more for dogs than liberals. Bingo.
Who's gonna? Who's gonna bring you more happiness if you let one into your house for a long time? Think about it. A dog or a liberal?
A
Let's be
dog.
real now.
A dog.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Who
Shout
do
out
you
Australia. Someone says they're watching from Australia. What were you gonna say?
nice. Am I homophobic? No, I'm not homophobic. I don't give a shit that people are gay. I just don't think it matters. I think it's a very weird thing to go around and tell people that you're gay. I think it is. I think the exact same way that it would be weird for me to go to people and tell them that I'm straight or just double down on it is completely irrelevant because like no joke for me, I'm type A with it. It's like me coming up to you and saying, "Hey, just so you know, love to fuck pussy." And so if you came up to me and said, "Hey man, love to fuck ass," I'd be like, "Why are you saying this? Like what a weird fucking thing to say to me." And so that's how I register it when somebody says to me that like they're gay, like it's of importance. I'm like, what does that have to do with literally anything
Gay
at
is a
all?
sin.
Like, yeah, but I don't know why anybody's supposed to give a shit, and we keep putting it in people's faces all the time. It's just weird to me. That's all.
Well, you're Jewish, so you don't get this. But there's a thing with Christians when Christians tell lefties that they're gonna burn in hell, they get like super fucking offended. We're like, it's funny, but like,
Well, no, no, I know the Bible very well, bro. The New Testament as well. I'm very well that, like, in fact, because that there's a funny joke that we even say where it's like, as a Christian, you can't have anal sex with your wife because that's sodomy, bro. You're gonna go straight to fucking hell. Whereas for us, we can get in there, dude. You know, we can do it.
Jesus, but
Yeah,
Jesus would
it
never
makes you. It
fail.
makes you. Well, listen. It just because it makes you. Have you ever considered that then as a Christian, it just makes you a bad neighbor? Like if you think about it, like when you step outside, you're supposed to say hello to your neighbor. You're just ignoring the neighbor entirely, like they're not even there. It's just plain old rude, man. You know?
What are you trying to say? I'm confused. I feel like I'm falling into a trap.
I'm
Everyone
saying. I'm
needs to
saying.
know I'm straight.
There you go, Samson. 100%. Everyone does.
To be honest, I only care because a lot of don't care people vote for those who would take away my rights. Like what rights? Your rights to cut off your wiener,
Mm.
your rights to go into a woman's bathroom when you're a man. What rights?
Did you tell me this? How much did you either talk about or think about or care about the topic of gay people at all before it became the transgender conversation specifically. Like, I know before that we were still on like gay rights, them getting married, but in reality, how much was it really on your mind before the transgender part kind of like popped in?
Not at all, really. I just thought it was
Yeah.
not maybe probably not Christian values, probably not religious values. But I want to address this
Yeah.
comment because this guy is a certified troll. He watches me and he hates on me, and somehow being negative and being a POS gives him a little bit of whatever happiness, I guess. He says Euro is a white nationalist. No, I'm not a white nationalist. I literally lived in Spain for almost 2 years. I don't think that's something a white nationalist would do. He said I'm a bigot. Also, I don't think I'm a bigot, but if it were up to you, if it were up to him, other races would be living in tree houses. Why the fuck would I make you guys live in tree houses? Tree houses are badass. I wouldn't be giving it to you guys for free if I didn't like you. That makes no sense. That's just a low IQ comment. I don't got much to say to that.
I've never gotten the impression from you. I remember watching that one stream where you were saying that was a really interesting one with the English dude, and you were saying like that there are definitely countries that we shouldn't be letting people in from, and I can totally easily see how somebody's gonna turn that into like you're a racist, man. You don't want somebody coming out of India, but it's like, dude, like chances are the reason you don't have a problem with maybe somebody coming out of Spain is probably for the things that I named, because if they moved in next door to you, you're probably not concerned that their kid is going to teach your daughter some weird shit. You're probably not like, oh no, the Spanish kid is like in school with my like that boy is in school with my boy. Like maybe five of the Spanish boys are going to gang up together and beat up my kid because he's American and not Spanish. Like you don't have any of those thoughts, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't think it's racism. I think it's just like, dude, it's just culture. Like some cultures don't mesh. And if they did, they wouldn't be two different cultures, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And they love to
Who's
call me
living?
they say I hate all immigrants, even though I told them I've lived in multiple places before. They still don't care.
Word.
Trump
I
is
see
owned by
Joey said,
Israel.
yeah. Oh, I think that one's for me is that I believe I'm living in the year 14,000. I don't know what actual year it is. I think it's like 5,786, something like that. We're definitely not at 14,000 yet, but it's something like 5,000. It actually kind of makes sense, right? Because if you literally think about it, like, so, like, for example, before Christ, there's all those stories in your Bible. Well, those happened, right? And so if they happened, and that's when the time was being recorded, we kind of arrived with this year now. So it just
So
just
you
kind of
think
makes
the
sense.
Earth is only 5 or 6 thousand years old?
No, 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 no. I just think that like that's like when that's when we're recording our story from, right? Like for example, like we're in the Gregorian calendar, like the fact that it's the year like 2026 clearly has like a relationship to Jesus. Like like the Jewish story, like and where that timeline begins has like relevance to the Jewish story, but like no, it's surely much older than that. Much, like significantly.
Did you see the video of the soldier throwing the flashbang in the car? What are you talking about?
Depends on your definition of a racist. Oh man, I don't. It's funny how they always find so much shit. Like
Joey,
I'm
you
just like
can
that
put
one.
a toilet and pipes in your treehouse. Relax, brother.
Yeah. What's wrong with the treehouse, dude? True houses are baller.
No, please don't tell me USA lost to Belgium, dude. Belgium, I don't even watch soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But man, when I heard what the Belgians were doing, I'm sorry, I thought that was pretty gay. I mean, if you want to kiss another man on the cheek as like a greeting, okay, fine. But when you score a point, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is in some other cultures, but mind you, I've seen plenty of men kiss on the cheek as a greeting. But when they scored points, they started kissing each other on the lips and making out. Like all the Belgium men in the crowd. It was really gay. I hope they didn't beat the US. Someone says the Belgians are communist. I've debated one of them before, and man, they are stupid. They are stupid. They're a
Well,
feudal society. Completely. They're screwed.
the amount of Muslims they took in is wild. Like actually wild. But aren't they like in general a fucked up country because they have like a
They're
completely
the
confused
capital
culture?
of the EU.
Yeah, but like they're like a fucked up like their culture is fucked because they basically just have remnants of Italians and French. Like like the official language of Belgium is not Belgian. It's just Italian or French. Like that's literally what it is. And they have an insane amount of Muslims in there. Like I think they took in did they take in more than anyone? If I'm not mistaken, like literally more than any European country? I think we have to Google that, but I think that might be true.
I believe it. Like I said, they're ground zero for all the disaster in Europe. Such a
Yeah.
caveman conversation. You Israelis are fascinating with your need for expressing hate against everyone not Jewish. Why is that? First off, I'm
Everyone
not
not Jewish.
Israeli. Second off, you're talking to him, so I don't know why you're referring to both of us then. And what hate?
I mean, I think Christians, Catholics, Hindus, Jainists, I could go on and on, are great. I don't think the ideology of Islam is like something that can work with the world at all. So I mean, if you mean that like, you know, someone who specifically believes deeply in the Muslim faith, yes, yeah, I think that shit is quite bad. But as for having hate against everyone else, nah, I actually don't even think anyone else at all. I don't think I can name you a religion where I'm concerned about at all. And what is there like 200 of them? The only one that concerns me is the religion of Islam, the same one that has the most terrorist attacks in the world. That's about it.
87% of global terrorist attacks, all because of radical Islamists. I love to bring up that number. They say, you're lying, you're lying. It can't be 87%. Well, guess what? It's 80%, 87%. I think it was like 47,000 radical Islamic terror attacks since 1970. Mind you, this is
Yeah,
counting everywhere, every country in the world, even Muslim countries where, the majority of this actually goes on, unfortunately. The majority of Muslim terrorism is actually, Shia versus Shiite. or whatever the hell you call it, which is absolutely hilarious.
Hmm.
They're like the least united religion possible.
They are, dude. They are. Like, does any like do you know about how as soon as like Assad's regime, like it just recently, the one that fell, and remember how Assad run after
Mm-hmm.
Russia?
Yeah, he's in
So they
Moscow.
started, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then like a bunch of people went off just killing a bunch of Alawites, and most people don't even know because they wouldn't even bother. They're like Syrians just died, but it's more specific. It's Alawites, which is like a different sect of Shia. And basically, people thought like, oh, they're still like regime supporters, so like other Muslims just killed those Muslims, you know? Like that's the highest rate of actual Muslim killing in the world is just by other Muslims. Like that, and that's a fact that I don't even think that they can deny because it is what it is. They kill each other like nobody's business. It's just nobody gives a fuck when a Muslim kills a Muslim. It's only when Jews are involved. Bro, this guy thinks you're a Jew. I love it.
Trump on the way to the hospital? You're full of fucking shit, dude. Trump ain't on his way to the hospital.
Oh my God. You know what's funny, dude, is that like I'll be frank, I do look at like what the US does, and like obviously like I'm very concerned and hoping that like things always work out well for Israel for obvious reasons. But like at the end of the day, I think that too many people sometimes forget that like how overwhelmingly powerful the United States is and what that actually means in the world. Like setting aside
Would you
fairness
hate
and
us if we
ethics.
stopped giving aid to Israel? Would you get mad?
I mean, I think that that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I think that they'd end up figuring it out anyways. But like I think that like there's a lot of things the United States does that I don't like. But as soon as I put myself in their shoes, I this is what I'm saying is that when you're that overwhelmingly powerful, you kind of have the say to do whatever the fuck you want, and whether people like it or not, you're gonna do whatever is best for you. Like to give you an example, right? So everybody's like talking about how powerful Iran was. When we like put the giant Jewish dick inside of Iran, and like Israel literally controlled their skies. We did it with like 300 aircraft. We have like upgraded like like your planes like F-35s and shit. We did it with like 300-ish aircraft. You guys have 20,000 or more aircraft. 20,000. Like, there's not a comparison. Like, if we can fuck someone with 300, what do you think happens when you bring 20,000 to the table, right? So it's like the power of the United States is so severe that, like, I think that sometimes people have to let go of their feelings and, like, even as much as, like, I love Israel and I always want it to prosper and, like, really just understand that, like, when you have the power to do what's best for you, you're going to do what's best for you. And there's probably going to be a lot of shit that's like backdoor that people wouldn't even know about. Like there probably could have been like actual financial benefits, um, for all I know, to like like shutting off the Strait of Hormuz for a bit. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't
We
know.
became the number
But I
one
think
oil salesman in the world. We went from number five to number one.
right. And like I'm very like again, I always think about like my business, so I'm very results oriented. Like I kind of like the easiest way I find to figure out why someone does a thing is you look at the result. And if you can easily draw from the result the a benefit, you're like, well, that kind of makes sense then, doesn't it? So when I look at it, I'm like, well, that's funny. You made money off of it.
Yeah, we
Kind of
did
seems
make
like
money.
the right. And I kind of feel like the person with the biggest dick in the room, if they can make the most money, they're probably going to do it. And like that's what you guys did. And so I can like or dislike that as a guy who's like Israeli, but well, that's sort of the laws of the jungle, man.
What are some of
You
your
know?
hot takes in general, though? Let's get some hot takes. What's your most controversial hot take?
Well, it's tough, bro, because I'll tell you this: when it comes to Trump, I think my view on Trump has like it's like completely different than it ever was. Like I think Trump is the ultimate snake in the grass. I think that like he's really learned to speak the language of the Middle East, and like quite frankly, what that is, like when you're talking to a country like Qatar or like Iran, you lie, you bullshit. That's what you do, and you do what you have to do. Like that's the game. So I think he's really learned to play that, and so a lot of times when everybody's making like calls about like, oh, he's totally like selling out Israel, or oh fuck, he's giving them too much. I'm like, no, I want to see this play out because he's done some wild moves constantly. He's done a lot of wild moves that like he really didn't expect.
What do you
You
think
know?
about Trump partnering with Qatar after they, a lot most of the terrorists that did 9/11 I think were from Qatar and Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, the fact that like he took that like insane aircraft from them as like a gift is so wildly stupid, like incredibly stupid to me. Like that, and that's like I don't even think that's good
Even if we
optics. It's
check the
like,
whole thing, we
uh,
checked the whole thing.
yeah, like not only is there probably like spyware, but it's also like,
We haven't
isn't
had
that
an
just
Air
really?
Force One in 40 years or something like that. It was over 25 years for sure.
I guess it's like the thing is,
Our
it's one of those
planes are
things where once
outdated.
again, it's because you guys have the biggest fucking dick of the whole world. You guys have the most power that like it's only you guys with someone specifically like Trump that you could get away with it. If Israel received an aircraft from any country, doesn't matter which, or Ukraine did, or Russia did, it would have everybody would be talking about it a lot more. It's only someone like Trump that can do that kind of shit. But dude, I don't love everything he does. He's still a politician at the end of the day. You know what I
Do you
mean?
think he's gonna take that jet for his own personal jet at 84 years old when he gets out of office? I don't think he's allowed to. But the Democrats keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna use that jet as his personal jet." It literally they literally put taxpayer dollars to make it the Air Force One. They're not gonna give it to him.
Yeah, yeah. I like dude, I'm gonna be frank with you about Trump and probably about any other president. The main reason why I specifically like Trump and why I did it as the option of your last elections was that like at the end of the day, dude, I do think that most politicians, the majority of them, are still bought and paid for, and most of their personal opinions we're not really seeing them. Like we're still gonna be seeing whatever they got paid the most to kind of say. But some people I think are less that. And I think Trump is the least of that I've seen. I still think that like there's people who's like, Trump is a little bit in their pocket. It's kind of like how it is. And like I just don't think it's possible for any politician to be 100% clean. I don't believe that at all. But I think he's the one that like for me from what I've seen, I think he's the one that like is the least bought off. That's just like my take on him, you know? I
Fair
mean,
enough.
do you think everything he says is 100% him and nobody paid him,
Um,
for certain interests?
Maybe some companies for his maybe promoting some American companies, but it helps everyone if we promote American companies.
Yeah, but still, at the end of the day, to get votes, you still need.
85% of our government does not have dual citizenship with fucking Israel, dude. What are you talking about?
What's that even? That is so dumb. Holy shit, that's stupid. That's wild,
Yeah,
dude.
in Canada, do they have the phrase that Jews control Canada? Because we have that in America. Jews
Yeah,
apparently
I think the
control
guy that
America.
I think the guy that said that's from Yemen, dude. That's the
What?
only explanation for being that fucking retarded. That 85% of our government, that's that 68 IQ going to work for you right there. That's what that is. That's that cousin
Come
goat
on, your
fucking.
best friend's a Yemenite Jew. What are you gonna say?
Dude, you know what's funny is that's why he goes so hard on the paint when people talk shit to him. That's
Oh
why it's
my
because he's a
god.
Yemenite Jew.
Oh my god.
For real. We called them the Ooga Booga Jews, man.
That's
Yo,
funny.
what are flowers and jewels? What is
Those
that?
are worth like money. 30 joules I think is like 30 cents or something.
Yeah. By the way, I do have this like hot take for you. I don't think it's going to be controversial, but it all ties together for me actually as a Canadian. I actually really need America to prosper because if it doesn't, Canada actually is getting fucked over. Like genuinely, we need you guys to not only sell us shit, but we need you guys to buy our shit. We need you guys to buy our aluminum. We need you guys to buy our oil. We need you guys to buy our lumber for building material. Like we need that. We need that symbiotic relationship. And at the same time, dude, it actually does tie into Israel because like Israel being like successful and functioning well maintains everything well in the Middle East, and that way I don't have any issues of anything being disrupted in the United States because it does actually have global effects. Like when you have psychotic countries like Iran who are able to control the Strait of Hormuz and just shoots fucking rockets and take out ships, it has like fucking actual global effect. So like I find that like at the end of the day, if Israel is intact and there's no crazy jihadis being crazy jihadis, the world functions well. If the world functions well, the United States functions well. If the United States functions well, Canada functions well. My dollar has a chance to go back up. My like gas bill isn't going up like crazy. So for me, as opposed to like being like, oh, Israel's like causing this shit, like I view it quite differently, dude. Like I actually think the prosperity of both is how I actually have Canadian prosperity, to be frank.
I agree.
USA
Bibi
is the
committed genocide. He belongs in prison. What do you think?
I think that like people really, really have to take it seriously that they're gonna miss Bibi when they get their next prime minister.
Dude, it's only 4 months away from the election. I hope Bibi's gonna win, but I don't think so.
Dude, I just don't know how people don't understand that like there's a good likelihood Bibi's gonna get reelected. If he
You
does,
think?
there's a likelihood. Like I'll be honest with you, the way that the Israeli government functions, the Knesset is bullshit. It's not good. It's not a good system. There's a chance he'll get reelected. If he is, he's not gonna be soft. And if he isn't, everybody who hates him is gonna miss him.
Is it not
Because the
based on
person
popular vote?
Yeah, but dude, it's just the coalition governments that they have are all fucked up. Like sometimes you have to like you can't get the amount enough votes. You like side with like the Arab part, and they have completely different agenda, and you don't really get what you're promising to the people. It's all just fucked up. But bro, I'm telling you right now, people are going to be missing Bibi when they get the next prime minister because the next prime minister is not going to be doing shit all European and Western, and the next prime minister is not going to give a fuck about what the world is saying. Like the next prime minister, when you're going to cry, oh, the women and the children, the genocide, is literally going to say, just go fuck yourself. I'm going to do what I need to do. He's just not going to care. Literally, like all this free Palestine stuff, he's not going to give a fuck about it.
Man,
Like
I would
people
love
will
to meet
miss
Benjamin
Bibi.
Netanyahu. All these people are saying he's Satan. I think it would be so funny if I could get a picture with him.
You know what? I don't know a lot of prime ministers who actually like served and had their own like brother die in an operation, fighting the same people that he's fighting now, that many years later. So like, say whatever you want about him, he's not just some random politician pussy. Never was, you know. And like, I don't know, dude. There's plenty of shit I don't like that he does, but what does that matter? I don't like that Trump took a plane. You know. Like, do you know about the corruption charge on Bibi? By the way, do you know what it's about?
Thank you, Samson. I know I don't know what it's about. What is it about?
He accepted champagne,
Then why do
and I
they
think
all
it was
say
like
that he's
10.
being like they all say he's going to prison for war crimes?
Well, that's because like a couple of like I don't know who, I don't remember which ones. A couple of prime ministers or presidents said like if he comes to their soil, they have an arrest warrant for him and they'll arrest him immediately. You know, but as far as like him actually going, it's retarded. Like I just why? Because he decided to attack Hamas and civilians died as collateral damage of a war. He, as the prime minister, is going to go to jail. Like it's just such a dumb talking point.
What
You
about
know what I mean?
Lebanon? Do you know anything about what's going on there?
Yeah, yeah,
What do
dude.
you
Dreams
think
come true.
the what do you think of Bennett's chances of winning? That's from Sam's son.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he will. I have kind of my doubts.
You know,
But the
Gigi
Lebanon,
thinks that. Sorry to interrupt you before you go into the Lebanon
yeah,
thing.
go for it.
But
Yeah.
you know, Gigi, she actually thinks Benjamin Netanyahu was a very attractive man in his early days, like 20 years ago.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she thinks he's
She's
hot,
gonna.
like 20 years ago when he was in the when he served. I think she was showing me photos of him in the IDF uniform, if I'm not
That's funny.
mistaken.
Yeah, should have hit him up, man. Should have hit him up.
Too late now. He's blown up now.
Yeah,
He's famous now. You wish you could.
legit. Yo, but Lebanon, bro. All I can
Hmm.
say is this: very sad that nobody in the United States wants to talk about that. Pretty glorious. A lot of talk about like, oh my God, can you believe what we're doing in Lebanon? Their prime minister, who's a Christian, what are the chances of that? Decides to literally invite Israel to come and help him with the Hezbollah problem and sign an agreement, which is basically like amounts to please fuck up Hezbollah and get them out of our country so we can go back to like the normal relations we had. But nobody wants to say anything about that, you know? And like for Israel, dude, we're like celebrating. Like this is historic.
Yeah, no
Like
one's talking
actually
about
historic.
Lebanon at all. Like 2 weeks ago, everyone was saying, "No, Israel's genociding. They want greater Israel. That's why they're doing this." Yada 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 yada. And now all
Yeah.
talks about Lebanon is just silent.
Totally, dude, totally. Yeah. Like when you know, like when a Christian prime minister or president comes to us and says there's these Muslim jihadis who've taken over our country, please get them the fuck out of here, and we're like, we're totally gonna do this with you. That's us actually just wanting to have greater Israel. That's definitely what that is, dude. Like it's such brain rot, honestly. Like why can't it just be the good thing that it is? Literally, which is a country that was always Christian wants to be Christian again. They're sick of crazy fucking jihadis and innocent people dying. They want us to help. We're the only ones that can, and we're doing it. And we're doing it together. It's good. It's a fucking good thing. Like why make it shitty? Legit, why make it shitty?
This guy says greater Israel is cool with me. I mean, if I had a decision of more radical Islamist or just making it Jewish, I guess I would say Jewish.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like, look, dude, I'm actually for that. I'm 100% for Greater Israel. I don't care what people think. It's just because, like, it's going to be better. But you know what? If people don't want that, fine. Call your lands whatever you want. Just operate your country the same way Israel does. Just like, don't have terrorist organizations, put people through school, invest in, like, kids going to become, like, engineers and doctors and shit. You know what I mean? Have Western values. You don't even have to call it Greater Israel. Just, like, behave as they do. Literally. I'm good with that too.
Oh, here
But
we
otherwise,
go. Israelis are taking American Armenian Christian property and land. What do you mean? Armenians?
Armenia?
Are you talking about the
What are they talking?
Turkish? The Turkish genocide? Is that what you're thinking about?
Bro, that's retarded. Oh, the
Armenians?
SS
They
Liberty,
probably
bro.
meant Americans. They probably meant Americans, but they probably just like autocorrected or something. I don't know. No clue about
I
that.
love the bro, I love the USS Liberty that they always throw out there. That's like my favorite one. That's so good.
UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia and Qatar are better off than Israel. What do you think about that?
Say that again? UAE what?
They said Oman, UAE, Qatar, they're all better off than Israel. What do you think about that?
I mean, how? How? Like that's literally retarded. Do you know what I mean? Like that's actually like I don't know like you want to go live there? Like you're gonna feel good about your mother or your daughter being there?
I mean, you already
Like
saw the
it's
rockets
so
fly
bizarre.
into UAE and
Yeah,
Oman and Qatar.
I just, dude, I always think to myself, like it's almost hard to be offended by these people because I almost think it's like indecent of them because every one of these people has a mother, and I just think to myself, like you want to put your mother in Qatar, like literally, like I was just in Israel. It's always the same thing. You land there, you don't need to speak Hebrew. It's gonna be the exact same lifestyle you have in the United States. Go chill, go buy some weed, smoke it on the street, eat. I don't know, go to restaurants, call an Uber, whatever the fuck it is that you do, it's going to be the same lifestyle. You want to bring your mother to Qatar? That's where you want to live? You want your daughter growing up in Qatar or Oman?
No,
Like it's just so
absolutely
bizarre,
not.
bro. It's so weird.
Absolutely not. Scott
Yeah.
wants to know if you like pineapple on pizza.
It's an abomination, bro.
Oh, okay, we disagree.
Oh,
Hawaiian
dude,
pizza. Pizza.
come on, come on,
Hawaiian
man,
pizza, man. Um,
bro. Yeah, Qatar does spend the most money on American universities, 100%. Did you
400.
ever
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Did you ever have like a phase where you kind of thought like of the more like maybe not 100% pro Pally, but like maybe a little left leaning, like oh like it's just a few bad apples. It can't be all of them. Like because I actually did, believe it or not. Like when I moved here, I did eventually get to a point where I was like my best friend you're talking about, where I ended up kind of like leaning towards all the propaganda and thinking it's not all of them. It's just a few bad apples before I like woke up and started like actually looking at the facts and like reading and deep diving. Like, did you ever have that kind of phase?
Um, No, not really, but I never really looked into it, so I was never really able to defend it until like 2 years ago. Then I started learning more about why certain stuff is done and what's propaganda and what's real and what's not real. But I automatically just thought it was fake, even though I don't have any family or friends. Like when the whole Palestine Gaza thing started off, I didn't have any family or friends that I knew of that was in Israel. So I was just not even really thinking about it too much. I thought it was horrible. I remember the same day that October 7th happened. Actually, I was living in Spain, and I remember my family was visiting me from America when I was in Spain, and they turned on the television and they're like, "What the fuck happened?" And they were talking about how the Palestinians attacked the Israelis again, and I remember my family saying like, "What the fuck? This is happening again!" Like I didn't understand the history between the Palis and the Israelis, so I didn't know like what the fuck they were talking about when they meant like this is happening again. Like I had no idea what was happening. I thought it was like a one and done attack, or I
Yeah,
thought it was just like a terrorist one and done attack, and that was gonna be it.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
I all I remember is like explosions on the TV, and it was like on every news channel.
It was like actually like, I've read so many fucked up books, by the way, on like different kinds of massacres. I went through a whole phase. Like I was reading like Ordinary Men, like, and that was like the opinion from the other side of Nazis, which is like what it was actually like for all these like Polish and Ukrainians to like actually kill Jews and how it was like fucking them up to just like shoot 100 people in the back of the head. Then like I remember reading The Rape of Nanjing, where it was the Japanese that were like killing the Chinese and like just the insanity of like like there's pictures, dude, where it was like, they would rape girls to death and they had this belief that like if they would take their like vagina hair, they could
Yeah,
make
that's
like a
horrible, dude.
bracelet and that would be
That's
yeah, and it
horrible.
would be some symbol of like virility or something. They did dark shit, but dude, like I never heard or saw anything this vile. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Jew. I'm like, I mean it. I've never in my life heard of like raping a woman while making her watch her baby in the oven. I've never heard of like a gang rape, but you stab a woman while you rape her. I've never heard of like just cutting breasts off for funsies and like there's just pictures
That
of those
all this
bodies,
stuff
right?
was done in Palestine.
That was in Israel. That was in Israel. That's like the stuff that's what happened on the October 7th massacre when they came
Mm-hmm.
into Israel. And like the fact that like when they would come to the houses, not just the dogs and the cats were shot to death, but even the birds. Like it's just like it's so mad where it's like it's wild. Like how, like why would you shoot the bird? Like I guess at this point I'm talking about people who gang rape while stabbing a woman, but why would you even shoot the birds too? Like it's just such depravity and madness. I'd never seen such a thing. I really didn't, dude. And then also to video record it and stream it to everyone. Like it's so fucking crazy that like it almost feels like the world's most epic gaslighting to have to like defend myself when I'm like, dude, all of that stuff when you're like, oh, but it's not all of them, you're like, okay, well, 89% supported. Like it's weird that like I'm on the defensive side at all in this shit.
Yeah, this
Because
guy
I'd never
dropped
seen
$2 to tell me that Trump is manipulative and only cares for himself. The USA is broke. Dude, one thing you can't call the USA is broke. The only one broke here, it sounds like the guy that dropped the $2 super chat to call the wealthiest country in the world broke.
that's actually so true, man. If I wanted to tell you that you're broke, I'd be dropping at least 50 or $100. That's the only way. Because $2 kind of sounds to me like he's been saving up for a couple weeks and like I
It
don't
sounds
know.
like you just got your allowance for taking out the trash or doing the
Legit.
dishes.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Everything bagel.
Oh, I think I saw that guy
I,
in there before. Yeah.
that's funny. That's a good name, bro.
MAGA are Confederate traitors and will be punished. Is that a threat to my life? We're going to be punished? This guy says hello
Jewish.
to all the miserable Trump haters. Oh, now they're arguing about
Name.
who's broke.
Yeah. Such a like I don't get the basis of that argument, dude. Like the bottom line is like, can you go right now get a job at McDonald's,
Yeah,
get
he
one
dropped
job in the
another
day
two
shift?
dollars. He said Americans are so broke we can only afford $2. No, Americans aren't broke. You're broke because you don't work very hard. That's why. and there's nothing that really interests you or you're very passionate about in the first place to even work hard towards. So I don't know what to tell you,
Oh,
Daniel son.
yo, there's actually a policy now that I think about it that you agree with that I don't agree with. So
Which
maybe there you
one?
go. We can
Which one is
disagree
that?
on something.
Getting rid of birthright citizenship?
Hell no. Oh my God, no, dude. No. Trump removing taxes on tips.
You want the
I
tips to
don't.
be taxed?
I okay. I yes, but also I want the way that they're paid to be changed. We used to do that shit here, where you can be paid less if you get tips. Because, dude, here's the problem. That money is now disappearing. Untaxed money disappears, right? Like that's not good. So like what needs to happen is like people need to get paid well and you tax them, and then their tips too. That's part of what they make as money. That needs to be taxed too. Like it shouldn't money shouldn't just go kapoof into the fucking economy. I don't believe in that at all.
So what? You just don't think you think they should get tips, but it should be on paper? What the business should
I
collect it
mean,
in and then disperse it out? A lot of
well,
people
here's
are
why.
living on tips. I don't know how it works in Canada or how it works in Israel, but a lot of people live on tips in America.
A lot of people live on tips here too, man. But you know the issue is, we had okay. So check this out. The year before COVID, we had $6 billion. You might say that's not a crazy amount, but it's a lot in unreported money from the hospitality sector, which is literally just tips not being reported. Then you know what happened in Canada?
What?
All of a sudden, for some weird reason during COVID, hundreds of thousands of people couldn't get approved for employment insurance and they couldn't get like enough money to live and we were all locked up at home. Well, ironically, why did they like it's like so you live in an apartment, you have a car, you buy a lot of shit, but on paper you only make 12 grand a year. No, you just don't report your
It's
tips.
only
So what did the
25K
government
that we can get that's unreported. Anything over
Right.
25K has to be reported. And it's only
Yeah,
12K
but
for a single guy. If you're married, it's 25K. If you're single, it's 12K.
okay, you have to report it, but you're getting cash tips. So
Yeah.
chances are you're just not going to report it, right? And so what happened here is because we had this liberal government, is they were like, oh shit, we can't just lock up like several 100,000 Canadians and also make them go broke. So I know what we'll do. We made up this thing called the CERB, and it was like this relief fund. We just gave people 2 G's a month. And so
Two
think about
grand
that.
a month?
Yes, and we did that for years. We did that for 2 years straight. And that's how we became so
No
fucking
wonder
poor.
so many Indians came there and they wanted to get a
Yes,
university degree.
yes.
Holy shit! Two thousand
We gave
dollars a month free?
Ev- Yes, but
That
think
sounds like a
about what that means,
paradise
bro. But it
for a
also
lot of
means
third
that,
worlders.
listen, you make this argument all the time about illegal people coming over the border, and I'll make you the same argument. They're breaking the law by not reporting their tips here because they still get a normal wage. And what happened is because they broke the law, they weren't able to get approved for like actual support from the government because on paper, it didn't look like they earned that much, even though they earned way more. They'd report like 12 G's, but they made like 50,000. And so what we did is we rewarded them. We gave them all 2 grand for the fact that they didn't report their taxes. And that is like fundamentally just breaking the law. And it got us really poor. And we just keep doing it. And like, I don't think that's good. That's where we got here by not reporting tips. It was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, that sounds like that sounds more like a Canadian issue, to be honest with you. But I don't know how that has much to do with us. We have plenty of other tax revenue that we make. But this guy says Trump's plan on taxing 25% on Americans for the debt. No, Trump is not going to increase Americans 25% more for debt. This guy's just
Where
making
did that
stuff
even?
up.
I've never heard that in my life. Who
But as
even
far
says
as
that?
taxation, to be honest with you, we might have different opinions. I don't necessarily think everyone should pay, super high taxes. Maybe you can make the argument they should pay some taxes, but I don't think people should be forking over 60% of their income.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you know what? You know what I wonder about with everybody going so crazy about wanting to see that? I see this like Epstein files with Trump. Okay, let's just like literally like I don't even care. You find something. Like then what? Like literally then what? Like does that like undermine everything he did in Iran? Does that undermine like how much of a outrageously better president he's been than Biden? Like what then? Like I'm literally wondering. I don't actually believe you're gonna find shit because he basically snitched on Epstein repeatedly. So I don't actually think there's anything, to be honest with you. But even if there is, then what? Like literally, then what? Like I'm sorry, but like I'm just gonna say, bro, one of your presidents already got blown by a Salvadorian secretary while being married to Hillary, right? So I like then what?
I don't know. This guy says I live in Canada and the government sent me $4,000 from Serb. Just knew it was fucked up, so I had to put it in an account just in case they came looking for it.
Yeah, they did it a lot. So they had like I think I don't remember it was 12 million or something and like fraud and double payments and stuff, and then they couldn't really recuperate it. A lot of people got double payment and stuff like that. And then afterwards they just send you a letter being like you'll give it back, and you just be like, no, that's kind of it.
They didn't come after you for the money?
They can't. Like they really can't. Like I'm sure like, maybe if you Google it, you'll find something like, oh, the CRA, which is like the Canadian Revenue Agency, will come after you. But like in actual reality, no. Like they don't. They
So
don't
the
really do
CRA
anything.
doesn't even come after you? Like your version of the IRS, they don't enforce shit?
You'd have to be committing some very serious tax frauds. But if for as far as like this stuff goes, they'll just continuously send you a bill on your tax returns or something for the money you owe them. But nothing's gonna happen to you. Like you're not gonna get arrested. Like it's crazy here. That's all I can say. It's wild.
Someone says, as a Canadian Jew, they are not out of host nations. What are you talking?
Means,
Okay,
bro.
okay, here we go. Here's what this idiot says. He says, no such thing as Canadian Jew. They are not of their host nations. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I don't even know what that means. Like, I just like all I can say is that I employ over 20 people. So it seems to me like I have done a fucking excellent job of assimilating. Like, I don't know anybody in Israel who has giant over 100-pound dogs, goes out hunting, and lives the like literal Canadian life like the way that I do, or like loves going out in the fucking winter like forest. You know what I mean? Like I pretty much feel like I did exactly what you would want an immigrant to do. Come, assimilate, become a part of the country, create like jobs for other people, pay taxes. Like if anything, I think like it's like I'm like top notch in the realm of like assimilation. Exactly what I'd want out of anybody else, you know?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Someone says I was a Canadian soldier. Someone else says Canadian government wiped out their saving accounts of the people. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what do you think about APAC or what do you know about APAC?
I mean, like it's a bunch of American. I'll simplify it. It's an American group that's all a bunch of Jews, and they're pro-Israel, and they donate to Israel funds. I think you have the right to do exactly that. If you have a bunch of people who are in your country, and it's specifically like
Not all of them
a
are
fund.
Jews. There are plenty of Christian Zionists and there are plenty of atheist Zionists, surprisingly
Yeah,
enough. Um,
I'm all
and
I'm all good
Israel
with it,
doesn't
bro.
even directly send any money to APAC. These are just
They don't.
pro-American
They don't.
Israeli
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah. I'm 100% for it because it's internal. I'm not for foreign shit. Like I don't like the gross like there's like $6 billion in Qatari funds that have gone into the educational system in your country. And by the way, like I wouldn't approve of that in any way. Like if let's say 'cause, like I think that a lot of people don't realize like it's a very specific thing that Qatar asks for because when Qatar sends you guys money, there's a stipulation that comes with it, which is generally speaking, it'll be something like we're sending you this money to this Ivy League school, but also we insist that your Middle Eastern studies is taught by one of our teachers. That's actually how Qatar sends you guys money over there. And so that's why you get a lot of like school indoctrination. And I got to tell you that let's say Israel wanted to do the same thing and they were like, "Oh, we are going to give you guys a bunch of money, but we want to send you like a Hasidic Orthodox Jew to teach you like all your kids like Jewish values." I'd be like, "No, no, like that like I do not want that. In no way do I want that. Like you guys are functioning because of what you do. It's not because of what Qatar does. It's not because of what some Hasidic Jew does. So I don't need you to guys to get Muslimized. I don't need you guys to get more Jewified. I don't need that, you know. But
Epstein hated
it's
Zionists. He literally said so in the files if you read it. And
yeah,
also to
dude.
jump back into your comment, some guy dropped, another super chat. He said the e-files prove rights are okay with offenders. Rights? What do you mean, right-wing people?
Maybe he means grapes. Maybe he means graping.
The
Yeah, I don't know.
e-files prove whites are okay with offenders. No one's
Oh,
okay
white.
with offenders. Offenders are disgusting. But can we talk about what Tampon Tim recently did? Uh,
Hmm.
This guy was supposed to be vice president. He was this close to becoming vice president. Very, very close to becoming vice president. And he pardoned a criminal. Yes, this man did do his time in prison, probably about 25, 30 years for graping a 10-year-old about 10 different times. But he was just about to get deported and released from prison. What did Tampon Tim do? He pardoned him so he could be released from prison and stay inside of the United States. A convicted criminal rapist with no legal citizenship was allowed to stay because of Tampon Tim. That's disgusting. And no one's talking
It,
about that.
Tim is like he's part of your massive Somali fraud, is he not? Like
Yeah, he's
just
the guy that was in charge of the Somali fraud. He probably figures
yeah.
he's going to go to jail for a long time, so he might as well get
Hmm.
those prisoners in there thinking he's on their
Yeah.
side.
Dude, I you know what I mean when I say secondhand embarrassment, where you watch something so embarrassing you feel that way.
Yeah.
I only I tuned into his comedy show and like right after he lost. Oh God, dude, that was like actually like painful to watch. Like just Tampon Tim doing comedy. That was
I didn't even know he had a comedy show. That's quite
uh,
embarrassing. I didn't know he did that. He's
uh
not a very funny guy.
dude, it's like actually like it's unpleasant to watch, man. It's really unpleasant to watch. That's all I can say.
Do you
Man, these
watch
people with
FIFA?
not really. No, bro,
Did
I
you hear
work too
about the
much.
red card or no?
No, what happened?
I'm not going to get into it then. Basically, Trump is trying to, make sure a player got suspended or whatever, and Trump got him unsuspended to play back in the FIFA World Cup, and they're all upset about it.
Bro. Dude, I'd like to think, by the way, that all these people that I see in the side chat that keep saying like Epstein shit, and all this, I like to just think that they're mostly retarded Muslims because I think that for the most part, at least I hope, but I like to think in my mind that it's that I don't think that Christian people feel this way because what I think both Christians and Jews seem to obviously have in common is that any Jew that you say to them like, yeah, dude, he's a fucked up rapist, like he's a nasty dude, like I'm not gonna defend him to you. Like, yeah, he's a nasty guy. Wish he wasn't Jewish. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't claim him. You know what I mean? It's the same thing you would say to anybody who is like, I don't know, was some crazy fucking school shooter who was, I don't know, like Christian. Like, I've never seen a Christian be like, but we defend him, dude. He's a Christian. He's one of us. Because that to me, I'm just gonna say it. It's a distinctly Muslim thing. I don't ever see them being like, yeah, dude, like this guy's horrible. Like you're right. Like oh my god, that's a terrorist. That's a terrorist. They always have like an excuse, So like when these people want to bring up this like oh Epstein and all the Jews, I'm like I don't know what to tell you, dude. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I don't really know what it has to do with Judaism as a whole. The same way that anytime I see a Christian doing shit, I don't think about them as a whole. But that's actually specifically because Christians and Jews tend to not like it when people of their own kind do fucked up shit. That's kind of what binds us. So, I'd like to think that I see some people getting triggered when I go hard on the Muslims.
Yeah, they're asking
Yeah.
you why don't you like Muslims? What's wrong with Islam?
I
Why
mean,
don't
yeah, I just, dude, they need to read their Quran. Like, I don't know what else to say to them. Like, it's just, everything is wrong with it. Like, everything. It's completely incompatible. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but like, I don't ever
do
want
you
to
know
treat women the
Arabic?
way that it's. I don't know Arabic. No, I have like a little bit. I can greet you. I can bless you. I can ask you what, why, when. I can quote you some of the Quran. But I mean, like, dude, I have a very beautiful, like, right here. I have a 1942 Quran. It's an old English, and this thing is
That's the one that
unadulterated.
triggers them, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, because like it's not lovely, right? Like on the back of it, I have a. It's in the index, right? It's in the index, and one of the chapters is called Jews, Enemies to Muslims. And like, you know what? I have never seen a copy of any Bible in my entire life, ever, that said, like the Muslims should be like killed. And like literally, like I mean, I can go into deep into the passage, but like it's insane. I mean, like they say that like you guys and us are like cursed, that you combine God with gods. That's like making fun of the Trinity. It's wild, by the way. I just think to actually dedicate a chapter to like calling out a specific other religion and hate on them in your religious book. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, where in the Torah it's like you should just hate fucking Christians, you should hate Muslims. Like, that would never happen, obviously, because it was there before. But it's wild to me that as a holy book, they do this kind of shit. Like, even like I don't believe in Scientology or Mormonism, but where in those books do they like aggressively like name and hate you and talk about all the horrible things that you guys like do? Like it's weird. Like there's a chapter just dedicated to hate. The fuck is that?
Yeah, speaking about hate, here we go. This guy says no Jews are just rich fucks who does the most weird shit ever. That sounds like straight fucking envy and hatred.
That is,
I
bro.
mean,
I mean,
dude,
like tell me,
it's literally a Monday evening, and this is what's coming across some of your brains. I hope to God that you're not real and that you're just a bot, or you're just some kind of Muslim extremist in like Pakistan, far, far fucking away from us.
this is literally the way of telling me you're poor without telling me you're poor. It's just saying Jews are just a bunch of rich people. Yeah, man. We just fell into money. That's how we did it. We're like 0.2% of the population, but we just happen to be rich, dude. Like I crawl out of the vagina with like a pile of cash. That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, this guy dropped another stupid super chat. He says Jews are white. Why are they against other whites? What are you talking about?
Yeah, the actual majority of Israel is not white, so I should probably look into that.
If they
Oh
asked
my
you
God,
what
dude,
color Jesus was, what would you say?
Jesus? Oh,
Yeah.
he would be like sort of like more on the olive
You
skin, a
think
little
he'd be
bit
looking
darker.
like
Or-
Dershawn?
No, I think he'd be darker skinned than that. I think
Okay.
most of the people then would be more darker skinned. Yeah, they'd be more on the olive, the kind of Levantine look. I like how this one dude literally said like Jews hate Christ, Muslims love Jesus. Muslims love Jesus, bro. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, you guys love Jesus.
You're
I
making me
think the
laugh.
Muslim Jesus, bro, Muslim Jesus is my favorite Jesus, right? Like this is I hope that like, this guy read his Quran really well and remembers where his Muslim Jesus came from, right? The angel Jibril who breathed into Miriam's, not Mary, right? Miriam, who's the, sister of Moses, but no problem. We'll just say it's a bad English translation, but the angel Jibril breathes into Miriam's vagina to arouse her, causing the sperm to go from her rib into her vagina, joining the two sperms. So Jesus is made of two sperms, apparently one that comes from the rib. And also, Jesus never died because literally Allah tricked the world into a body double and then recalled Jesus back to heaven with him. So he was
What?
never crucified. He never. Did you not know that?
That's what they
That's
believe?
he was never. Okay, so if you've ever heard the line, Allah is the greatest deceiver of all. Now they retranslate it or they try to say Allah is the greatest planner of all,
Yeah, I
but
knew
it's
that.
not. It's the greatest.
And you
Right.
know,
It's the
Christians
greatest
believe the
deceiver.
greatest deceiver is the devil. So that means the Christians, Muhammad
Yeah.
is the devil. Allah is the devil, I mean.
Dude, there was a point at which, like, if you remember the story when Muhammad came to Khadija, his wife, the first one, right? The one that's like the older widow that he married who happened to have all the money. He came to her horrified because he thought that he just had a revelation from like Shaitan, from Satan. He literally thought that. That's why he came to her, and they had this whole conversation about like, let's figure out who you actually got the revelation from. Oh, and it turned out it wasn't Satan, but that's actually what he believed. But anyways, dude, like you should really look into this because this is wild when Muslims play this game and try to say we love Jesus. That specific part where it says Allah is the greatest deceiver is because it's not planner, it's deceiver. And that is because it's literally written down that he tricked the whole world and Jesus was a body double and he was never crucified, he never died for any of your sins, and Allah recalled him back. That's the Muslim Jesus. That is not your Christian Jesus. That's a completely different fucking Jesus. So like when they try to say they respect him, no. And also they don't say he's a son of God. They just liken him to any other prophet. So that's not the same. Unless you believe that like Moses and Isaac and Jesus are all exactly the same thing, that's what they believe. So no, not the same thing. Not even fucking close. That is like classic Muslim taqiyya right there. 100%.
Yeah, I've heard of Muslim taqiyya, but I gotta look into it more to see the strategy so I don't fall for it. They say
Well,
Muslims
it's
don't deny Jesus. Muslims see him as a prophet. Jews call Jesus a sorcerer. Jew hate is bad. Yeah, obviously I agree there. What else? What else? You guys are so stupid. Muslims don't respect Jesus more than Christians. LFMAO. Yeah, they're basically just arguing back and forth of Muslims like Jesus. Like, y'all really think after millions of Christians have died from jihad that Muslims like Jesus, like you'd have to be brain dead. They killed you for worshiping Jesus. What are you talking about? Gee
They-
Louise.
can I also say that, by the way, like the interesting thing about trying to say that like Muhammad falls in line with those things is that like when you look at the prophets and like let's say like I'm a Jew, so obviously like Jesus is not somebody that I pray to, but let's say that if Jesus is in line with everybody else and he's either a son of God or a prophet, I'm not going to argue about it, but where does Muhammad fall into that? How do we have like Isaac and Jacob and then we have Jesus? How do we arrive then afterwards at a dude that starts like 80 wars and has like multiple wives and like literally has hadiths about the like his wife washing out his cum stains? Like how did we make that progression from all the different prophets until we arrive at like this one? It
Why
just seems like a wild transition.
why do you think it's so hard for Christians to realize that Muslims do not like Jesus and that they do not want them to live?
Bro, they don't know. I
Just
honestly
lack of
need every
education.
Christian
That's your answer.
100%. I need every Christian out there to like literally like read specifically that and understand that when they're talking about Jesus, they're not talking about the same one. It's like you're just they're just putting that name on him. That's it. But everything else isn't the same. It's just not. Like they need to get that because it's so easy to be like they basically just do this, right? Like the Muslim thing to do is say we believe in Jesus, the Jews don't. But their Jesus has nothing to do with the Christian view of Jesus. It just doesn't. So I think it's insane. Also, that dude saying that Jews believe he's a sorcerer, I think that's pretty fucking wild. I'm pretty sure that most Jews probably just think that he was like
A rabbi.
a rebellious, yeah, a rebellious rabbi. Jesus was, by the way, the first time the word rabbi was ever used. Jews
So
never used the
Jesus
word
was the
rabbi
first
before.
rabbi then?
Yeah, that's a fact. There's never been use of the word rabbi before Jesus. It was always like a priest. Like for example, in Hanukkah, it's not just about lighting the candles. We celebrate that Judah the Maccabee, who was a warrior priest, reclaimed Jerusalem for us. Our history is warrior priests, not warrior rabbis. The word rabbi, first time ever, is Jesus.
You want to hear how ridiculous this super chat is? This guy says, "Here's my last $2 before my life support cuts off." Dude, what are you talking about? Your life support. If you guys
This guy
have any
just
real
went into
comments or
a-
questions, drop super chats. But this trolling is getting, old.
yeah. That's it. That's all he had to say. I
That's
thought he
all
was
I
gonna
had to
like
say.
follow
Nope,
through
that's
with
all I
something.
had to say. I guess he's
Damn.
gone now. He was on life support.
That's 3 weeks of allowance for him, man. Poor guy. I hope he's gonna be able to come back from this.
Someone says Jews were the first Palestinians. What do you think about that? Isn't that technically true?
Yeah, yeah. It's like kind of fucked up, right? But that like it's an actual fact that they can Google whatever they want to or just look it up. But it's over 60% of current day people, even in that area, that have like Jewish DNA. Because like you can't get away from it, man. Like I don't know what they want to try to prove, but it's like the area is called Judea. We're Jewish. It's called Judea from the tribe of Judah. When we arrived in Mesopotamia, they were like, "Who the fuck are you people?" And we're like, "Well, we're the tribe of Judah." They're like, "Oh, okay." And I guess you're the Jews. Like it's like we're named after the land. It's like, of
Someone
course
said
you're gonna
there's a
have the major Jews.
Palestinian soccer team and that they have all Jewish players on them. My guy, I don't think there's a Palestinian soccer team, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they don't have a fucking sports team, but
Oh my God.
this guy says Jewish DNA? Question mark? I guess we have a science denier in the chats if that's what you're trying to say.
But that's silly though. Like I don't. There's nothing to argue with there because like that's just there's a haplotype. Like I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean? Like
You
I
ever
guess
seen
that
those
the
videos on TikTok of the Palestinians doing a DNA test? Those are the funniest
yeah,
fucking things, dude.
they trip balls. Yeah.
Funniest videos. Thank you again, Samson. I love those videos. Like I seen some lady, she was like a woman. She had like a hijab on. She was having a mental breakdown when she took her DNA test and it said Syrian and Egyptian. She just had a full blown mental breakdown. She's like, "Where is Palestinian? Where is Palestinian?" Like she must have not grown up there. Or do you think that they're that deluded that they really believe that there's like Palestinian DNA?
I don't actually think that these people even believe that, man. Like I do think that at the end of the day, they just like it's kind of the cool thing to do right now is just like be pro Pally. And there's just like for sure Jew hatred in there. That's why you have all this like bullshit being thrown out. But I don't actually think these people are like I don't think they can be that dumb just in general. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't know how you like deny history. Like it's just it's kind of retarded. Even their arguments when they're like they're European. How did they get to Europe? How? Like how'd they get there? Like it's just it's dumb. Like I don't know what to say. Like yes, yeah, you're right. Those people got kicked out of like the Middle East. They end up in European places, and then they have like kids with some European people. So now still in their DNA is their original. Like this is such a stupid brain rot. Do you know what I mean? It's such a brain rot kind of argument. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, these people in the comment sections are crazy. I mean, I guess this one's halfway funny. This guy says, "I remember meeting a Canadian Jew from Vancouver. He says, quoting him, nothing's worse than a Vancouver Jew. Why is that? But he says he's sharing it for fun. I guess sharing for fun? Question mark.
I I have no idea, man. I don't know.
There is no
The Pal-
Palestinian state. This guy says the Palestinian soccer team is being unalived by people like you. What Palestinian soccer team? They're
I don't know
act,
what all these people.
they're acting like I'm stupid for acting like I'm questioning a Palestinian soccer team, and they're acting like I'm stupid for questioning that. Is that a thing? Here, it's time to do a Google search at this point. I feel like I'm being trolled right now.
The thing is that like I really want to understand with these people is do they not register the fact that if they keep empowering these people, these Palestinians, to pretend that they have this like weird identity that never fucking existed, they're going to keep teaching their kids to go and be fucking jihadis. And that's because that's all they fucking done. Like that's literally all they've done. That's all they do. And then more of them are going to fucking die because they're going to be jihadis and Israel retaliate and Israel's stronger. They're always going to be stronger. Like, I don't get it. Like, if you want those people to live, stop pushing this stupid Palestinian identity. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say. There's no book in fucking history that talks about the history of the Palestinians. Never. Not the Mamluks, not the Byzantines. No one who
Wow,
was in
this
that
is
land ever
crazy.
talked
They
about.
actually have a FIFA team. They have a Palestinian FIFA team. That's freaking ridiculous, dude. I did not know
Bro, good
that.
for you.
But you have a
Like,
question
is it?
from Samson. He wants to know. He wants you to talk about Al Zoot.
Mm, well, it's a pretty good hadith, bro. That's where Muhammad came to a desert and he drew a circle in the sand, and that was supposed to magically like guard him. But then it says that a tribe came and quote unquote rode him all night long. And that is a direct translation from Arabic that like you can tell me, I mean, if that's a mistranslation, you're gonna have to explain it to me, bro. So what did this African tribe do with him then all night long if rode is like a mistranslation? It's just a little bit weird. especially when you have like all these other hadiths of like how like you know like Imam Hussein it's called the Book of Suckling. Anybody wants to check it out, you know, if they want to say it's propaganda. In the Book of Suckling, right? In the Hussein didn't suckle his mother's breast and instead suckled on Muhammad's tongue until he was strong enough to eat, you know? There's
Hmm.
also sayings about how he liked to suck the tongues of his like nieces. So there's a lot of weird shit with him that like kind of like all leads in the same direction. It's a little bit weird and perverted. So the Al Zut story, I guess, like if somebody wants to say I'm just being racist, even though Islam is not a race, what did this black African tribe do with Muhammad inside of the circle in the sand all night?
Well,
Because it says that
we
they
have a
rode.
Quranist in chat. We have a Quranist in chat, and he says hadiths aren't the same as the Quran. Most Muslims don't follow those quotes. He's a Quranist. You're just a
Yes, they do.
Quranist. The majority of
Yeah,
Muslims are not Quranists. So I don't know where you get that
you know,
impression from.
I got love and hate for the Quranists. Like I got love for them in the sense where the only way for Islam to move forward in this world is it's got to reform like every other fucking religion. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, you guys are all like, oh, you guys, your book says to stone women if they're adulterous. Yeah, but we don't do that. No one fucking does that. Whereas, like, with you guys, when it says behead the infidel, you actually fucking do that as Muslims. So, like, I love that these Quranists are reformed. They're like, we reject all the bad stuff. But also, Islam means to submit. Muslim means one who submits. So you're not exactly submitting when you're picking and choosing the parts that you like, now are you? It's not submission. So like love you, but also don't really follow your cause in a way. Doesn't really line up, you know?
Oh, here we go. Palestinian bloodline predates European Zion Jews in Israel now. No, it does not. That
Dude, it, like
bloodline is Turkish and from Saudi Arabia. From Arabia. That's
I mean,
Arabia. That's Arabian, and that's Ottoman Turkish blood, and a lot of
just
Egyptian.
one book, bro. They just show us one history book, any one of anybody mentioning Palestinians. Unless like for sure the Greek invaders, you know, the Pelashid, the Plishtim. But as far as like that, like just one book anywhere. There's like history has all sorts of accounts of all different kinds of peoples by many other kind of cultures. So one book, if we can just find that talks about the ancient Palestinians, who are obviously all Arabs and Muslims, like just one book, find one, one. That's all you need. I shouldn't
Israelis
be able
or
to make.
Ukrainians and Russians. Those are I'm gonna mispronounce it, but Ashkenazi
Yeah, bro.
Jews. Yeah, those are Ashkenazi Jews, and they're not all from Russia and Ukraine. A lot of them are from Poland and they're Slavic. Most of them. I think all of
Yeah,
them are Slavic, but yeah.
yeah,
But it doesn't mean
yeah,
that they're
man.
not related to the Lebanon people. Like the majority of even
No.
the European Jews are related to the Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
Yeah,
you look up the
yeah, man.
numbers, over 90, like the numbers are like 86 to 90% of Jews in Israel or Levant related directly.
You know, a quarter of all Nobel Peace Prizes are by specifically Ashkenazi Jews. So, like, that's kind of a weird coincidence. Like, why is it that there's this group of people? You deny that they're a group of people. You're kind of saying, oh, I guess it's just a coincidence, you know, that there's this like massive percentage that all say they're Jewish, but you're like, oh, actually, no, they're all German and Russian, Ukrainian. They're not that. They're just fake Jews. Like, it's weird. It's weird how like there's this group of people that seem to all identify a way. They all pray the same way, even in the different countries that they were. Like back in the day, you know, like if you were in Russia or you were in Germany or Bulgaria, you still, if you wanted to have traders, you wanted to trade stuff. The only way you could communicate was with biblical Hebrew. So it's just like weird, you know, to say that they're all just random like Europeans, because like
I
you
mean,
know, I don't know, people.
A lot of Jews left Israel in the 1800s because of the whole Ottoman Empire, and those Jews moved to Russia and Ukraine, and then during 1890s and 1880s, there was a Russian Revolution. A lot of the Jews got pushed out of Russia because people wanted to steal their wealth and steal their money, et cetera, et cetera. So they all went to New York City and started building a major Jewish community in New York City. I mean, that's how a lot of the Ashkenazi got to New York, is
Yeah.
from the Russian Revolution in the late 1800s, because that was also perfect timing when they opened up the Ellis Island. I think was that in the late 1800s or was that the 1700s? I think it was the 1800s, but anyway, that's that. That's why there's
Yeah.
massive Jewish communities in places where they are today.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with it, dude. Like in general. I guess I'm a Jew, so I'm biased, but like I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if you're like looking at New York and thinking like, oh my God, what a shithole. I'm so unsafe here as a Christian because of all these Jews and they do all these terrible things and blah blah blah. Like I don't know what's bad about that. Like I don't know why there's anything bad about it whatsoever.
I love these
I
people are,
actually
are constantly talking about it's an ethnicity and it's a religion. I mean, Arabs are so close to being almost the same thing as Jews because they are Arabs and they speak Arabic and their religion is Muslim. Like, okay, no, they're not calling themselves. No, they don't study Arab. But I mean, if instead of being called Arabic, they were called just Islamic, then it would be the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're born
yeah,
into the religion. Their religion is their culture and their identity. Moroccan culture is Muslim Arabic culture. Saudi Arabia's culture is Muslim Arabic culture. So these are also kind of ethno states, if you ask me. Maybe I'm just looking at it from a crazy perspective, but that's my perspective.
bro, I agree. Some of these comments are so funny, dude. If Muslims hated Jews,
Do
that's
you
just
think
too good,
Israel
bro.
is a secular country? Because you have people that are Muslim that are in political power there. And I don't think it's not, you don't have to be Jewish, do you, to be prime minister? Or do you have to?
Um, I don't know. I'm not sure if you have to be Jewish. Maybe you do. I don't, actually no. Like okay, we gotta double check that, but I actually doubt it. The main reason I doubt it is because an Arab judge put a Jewish prime minister in jail. And so, because like it's a democratic after all, you can't fuck around, right? So I actually doubt it. I bet you you'd have to check it out, but it's probably something similar to the States. I'm guessing you have to be born in Israel.
This
I'm sure I would expect you probably can be an Arab, but it's just a matter of like, will people vote you in? I feel like it's kind of like probably can you be a Muslim president? You probably can, but are people actually going to vote it to happen? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy says,
Yeah.
there's tons of Palestinian Arab Christians, right? Well, this man above me is Israeli. I think he knows that. And did you know Christianity is illegal in Gaza? I mean, you asked me, did I know? Did I know? Yes, we both know this very common stuff. But there's no Christianity really in Gaza because being a Christian is illegal in Gaza. That's at least what Dershawn told me.
Well, actually, everything is legal in Gaza. Like it's only Islam.
But they
It's
have
only
one
Islam.
Christian church to kind of act like, oh, we're Christian, but they're really not because they don't even know what the Christian population of Gaza is because it pretty much doesn't exist. And if you are a Christian, you're pretty much hiding in fear.
Yeah,
To
there's no. It's not a thing,
sorry, I was
man.
gonna say. Uh,
What is it,
What's
Scott?
up, Scotty?
I was gonna say to answer your question. No, the Israeli prime minister does not have to be Jewish by law. They have to be eligible for and serve in the Knesset. Israel is
Knesset.
a Jew. Yeah, thank you. Israel is a Jewish state nationality, but Arab slash Muslim citizens can vote, serve in the Knesset, serve as judges, and participate in the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, participate in government.
Word. Yo, I gotta respond to this one guy in your side chat that literally said if Muslims hated Jews, there wouldn't be like synagogues in Iran. Dude, this is like, okay, I'm guessing this person just doesn't know this, but there is actually about 100 synagogues in Iran, like maybe like 100. So, firstly, the population of Iran is 92 million. There's 15,000 Jews. Okay, where did all your Jews go if you don't hate them so much? How the fuck out of 52 million do you have 92 million? Sorry, you have 92 million population. You have 15,000 Jews. Okay, you have 100 synagogues in Iran. You know how big Iran is? There's 400 plus mosques in Israel. Israel has more than 4 times as many mosques as you have synagogues in Iran. And your country is motherfucking huge. Those statistics are retarded. You can't talk about not hating Jews when like almost all of Isfahan used to be Jewish and you have 15,000 left. Where do you think they are? Like, why do you think Israel has such a massive Iranian Jewish community? Why do you think where I live in Canada has such a massive Jewish Iranian community? Because you love Jews? I doubt it. That's probably not the reason. Sorry, bro, I had to with
This
the brain
guy
rot.
says, "What do you think about Governor Ice?" I think that you British people are very stupid, and you let a lot of radical Islamists in your country, and you can't trick an American because your education system is fucked. And you can lie about how intelligent you people are all you want. I've debated plenty of Europeans. You guys are the stupidest motherfuckers on this earth. This guy thought it was
Legit, man.
so funny trying to like drop a $2, 2 British pounds to drop like a funny joke. He's like, "What do you think of Governor Ice Swallow?" And I'm not going to read the last part, but you can probably use your imagination.
Yeah, bro.
He was trying to
Legit.
troll. But like, well, what are they saying?
Bro,
Whenever
Jews live
people
the
say
Muslim.
Israel, they include Gaza and West Bank, of course. Why wouldn't they?
Well, who do they pay tax to? I mean, Gaza is
Israel.
just like a fucking. But yeah, Gaza is a backwards ass shithole. But like, where do you think the electricity and water comes from?
Israel.
Into like, yeah. So
The West
like,
Bank
you know
is
what I mean? Like,
Palestinian. It's ran by the Palestinian Authority. What do you think about that?
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They
Area
don't
C
like it,
though
man.
is completely Jewish though, and completely Israeli.
Yeah, dude. Like, you know what's amazing is whenever I run into, I'll say this, whether it's PLO or not, anytime that we're on our stream, like on my channel, and we're doing like a U Mingle thing, and we run into people out of like the West Bank area, they're, it's funny. Like sometimes you run into some guys that I've run into the funniest dudes where they use the Western words. They talk about how like this guy openly said to me, "I live in a concentration camp," and right before that, he was showing me the keys to his Audi, and I was telling him like, "Dude, I run a business. I don't drive an Audi." What the fuck are you talking about? Like literally, and also like I'm sorry, but in your Arabic, there's no translation for your open concentration camp. It's such a like Western American like talking point that's like such bullshit. Um, but they're actually smarter, dude. Like those guys are actually like they still have some of them clearly still have wild Jew hatred. They don't want to live with the Jews. But they're not like the Gazans, dude. Like the people in Gaza, it really is different. Like those run by Hamas and those run by the PLO, it's like slightly evil to outrageously evil is how I'd say it. Um, like it's a very different story, man.
So I
Like the way I'll
will
be honest with you,
I will ask you this talking point though, because this is actually a question that people ask me all the time. They say, "Why are there more Jewish Americans in the IDF than there are Jewish soldiers in our own military in the United States?"
yeah, that's a totally fair question, man. I mean, I think that like what like to be completely honest with you, I'd probably be one of those statistics because I'll put it this way. To serve the American military, this is my personal view, I think it's a very honorable thing to do, deeply honorable, and I respect everyone that does it. But I don't think you are doing it because you are at the risk that your country might become invaded and you guys might all be murdered, and one day there'll be no such thing as an American. I don't think it's for that reason that you guys do it. But I do think that there's a very unique thing to Israel that when something like October the 7th breaks out, all of us Israelis understand we have to come back and defend this because there's something even for me, dude, like the shit that the degree of crazy like anti-Semitism that happened in my bakery where, I'd be on TV, somebody just saw my star and they swastika my whole courtyard out of straight Jew hatred. I am very blessed to know that like I'm so thankful that Israel exists because at least if everything goes down and like things go out of control and we all, I don't know, tinfoil hat go straight into Nazi Germany style, at least I know there's one country I can go to and be safe. And I think that like Jews understand that. They're like, we only have one place and we have to defend it. And so running back to the Israeli military to help them, it's not because you're doing it just out of honor. It really is because you're like, if I don't do this, there might never be a place for us to exist again. So like that's why I think so many American Jews will go to the Israeli military, man. It's because it's like for their own livelihood, you know? And I don't think that makes them any less American either.
Because it was Palestine, not Israel's mosques. That's what they're saying now, to the thing you said before.
Israel's mosque, oh my God.
IDF
Yeah.
raiding family farms in Gaza right now. The Palestinians get pushed into tent refugees, and the IDF bombs their tents, women and children. What do you think?
Um, well, like, like let's be factual here. By the way, I gotta say, it's weird that nobody talks about this because it would be wicked for the pro-Pally side to know this, but Israel's been like pushing their yellow line deeper and deeper. Like at this point, we already own over like 70% of Gaza. Like I don't really give a fuck what everybody says. Like literally we've pushed the yellow line in Israel like into Gaza at like 70%. That's what's happening. As for do they just shoot at tents? No, that's retarded. My friends are family in there. We're normal people that have family. None of us go shoot a fucking woman in a tent and then go back home and then hang out with our kids. That's brain rot. Uh, it's Hamas and their other 14 fucking terrorist organizations. Like, it's always the same shit, dude. I don't know what to say. Like, they go to civilians, they shoot out of there, we shoot back. It's how it works. Like, I'm sorry. You don't want civilians to die? Stop fucking shooting rockets from civilians. It's kind of it.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
man.
of comments right now, so you gotta give me a second. Listen,
I hear you.
y'all have a lot of stuff to say about this. You guys got a lot of opinions about Gaza. We're not going to be able to get to every single one of them. So if you want to drop like a $2 super chat or any kind of super chat, $10 for a bigger message, you can. I'm going to try to read any good comments I see though. The ones that you guys drop for free right now. I'm going to see. Um,
You control the electricity and the water. Why are people starving? I think you should just simply hit Google with that one because I'm going to tell you because Hamas steals over 90% of the aid. And like you know that. Like I don't know why people ask that kind of stuff. It's like you know it. They admitted it. Even the UN, which hates Israel, is like, yes, they stole it all. Like that's just what they do. Like I mean, how many videos? Like go on YouTube, type in Hamas stealing whole truck aid, right? Like it's just so dumb. That's why they starve, dude. Because like when you elect a terrorist organization and like they steal all your food that you get free from the rest of the world, you starve. That's why. And also, why the fuck do I feed the enemy? Just want to throw it out there. Like, why? Can I just like wonder, bro? Like, if Mexico invaded you and they murder, let's say by proportion, like I don't know, like 100,000 Americans and take like another like couple thousand as like hostages and rape some women for funsies, when you go back in there and fuck up Mexico and get your hostages back, do you have to feed the Mexican army too? Like, is that how that works? It's just like it's so weird to me. Like, why are you even supposed to feed the people that attack you? I don't get it. Who has ever done that ever? Like, literally ever. I can't even believe that we do. Honestly, I think it's wild that an average person who's just like a civilian in Israel has to pay taxes to feed people in Gaza because they elected a government that wants to murder everybody in Israel. That's retarded to me, honestly.
Someone's saying we pay the IDF's health care. I mean, how many times do we have to go over this? No, we don't.
No, man. No. No, I wish you did, dude. I really wish you did. I was just in there last year. I was trying to open the bakery there as well, and it's so expensive, bro. The cost of property is so much in Israel. I wish you guys did. I wish you guys would like just pay for everything so it wouldn't be so expensive for me to like open the business there. That would be really nice.
Oh, here we go. They're all saying U.S. tax dollars, U.S. tax dollars, U.S. tax dollars. Where do they get their money from? Do you want to respond to
Where
that?
where do they get? I mean, probably by their amazing industry. I mean, I don't know. Their industry is so amazing that they've created 250,000 jobs in the United States. They only got a population of like 12 million, so creating 250,000 jobs in your country, that seems to me to be a pretty good fucking economy, man. So like, I don't know, how do they make money? Is it by their amazing weaponry? Is it by like all the systems they create? Is it by like the fact that like they've invented a bunch of the shit that you guys have? Like, you know how like we just invented like the what is it? The that laser beam? I forget what it's called. Not the Iron Dome.
Jewish
The oh
space
Iron Beam.
laser.
Yeah, the Iron Beam. Oh yeah, the space laser. Who do you think gets that technology after we invented it? Because that's the deal with the United States is like you guys give us a discount. That's all we get is a discount on weaponry and a credit line. A credit line, by the way, if you're an adult and you have a credit line, pretty sure you know what that means. You got to pay it back and then some. So we buy all your weaponry, and then anything we invent and all intelligence we have to give to you. So when you get our laser beams, when you get our anti-rocket systems, when you get our spyware, where do you think that fucking comes from? You know? So like pretty interesting. Not sure Egypt. Yeah. Not sure Egypt, who's the number two recipient of the most aid in the Middle East, is giving you much back. Like I don't really know how many like Egyptians created jobs for you in Silicon Valley. Probably not 250,000. Just saying.
Well, a lot of these
Maybe you
people
should
will say
share.
the only reason we give money to Egypt is so they get off Israel's back.
Probably, probably, man. I like to be honest with you, that kind of makes sense to me because I'm not really sure what else you get from Egypt. I mean, Egypt is like it's a pretty backwards ass household, dude. Like honestly,
You ever been to Egypt?
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to. I mean, like I got that one friend that I met on Discord that I'm gonna be like bringing to Canada. I'm not gonna get too deep into the detail because like he's a Coptic Christian and I want to get him out of that country and he wants to get out of that country because like I don't know if people like get this like Egypt's annual average salary. They should Google it. It's $1,500. Like Egypt is a fucked up backward state, and they're still wasting money on their military and weapons. And it's like, I'm sorry, but what's the point? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to battle with Israel while your average salary is 1,500 a year? Like it's like what are these people doing? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes no sense. Why didn't
Yeah.
Israel help us in Iraq and Afghanistan? They did. Mossad helped train us on how to fight terrorism. So you're just a fucking idiot. You don't know anything. Next
Yeah.
question. Arabs
Shame on
screw
Trump
over
for
the Coptic people.
bro. These people don't like. Shame on Trump for trying to make Canada a state. Why? I'm for it. I wanted it. Like this was my dream. I voted twice to get the bill instated, then in the referendum. I was hoping it would go down. I'm all for it. You know, we have protests here that are actually separation protests. They just don't make it on TV. But we have full on protests that are just like literally hold up signs saying 51st state. Like, I'm not joking.
Well, you guys, no offense, but there's no way you guys could ever be like your own independent state. But you could join the U.S. because you need a military to become your own independent country, and I don't think Alberta has its own independent military. So unless you guys have that, you would need to rely on the U.S. to get your independence.
I'll be totally honest with you, dude. Like, yes, you're right, but it's never gonna happen. Alberta's never gonna separate because, like, the fact is, like, it doesn't matter what the rest of the country says. Canada is broke without Alberta. Like that's a fact. Like you can't have like imagine you're in the United States and let's just say that like California made like 85% of all of your oil revenue. You can't have California separate and become a part of Canada because your whole country would be fucked. So it's the same thing with like Alberta. Like we can't, no matter how much I vote in reality, Canada could never be without Alberta because then there's just no Canada. It's just
Ooh, yeah, go California.
like they're ruined.
It's sad. Trump is trying to make Canada a state. Cry about it. Cry about it. Here, you know what? I'll put Don's in since you keep requesting Don's. Here, I'll add you in. There must be something you really, really want to say. Here you go, Don's.
I said it in the comments actually, and someone just decided to be immediately rude. But I wanted to point out that the amount of civilians that have been killed in the Russia-Ukraine war are way higher than the amount of civilians that have been killed in Gaza. So all the
Yeah.
people that are calling what's going on in Gaza, oh, it's a genocide, oh, Israel's killing civilians everywhere. Okay, why aren't you saying the same thing about what's going on in Ukraine? Because if you're not, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah. Well, they don't know, man. It's not news though, right? Because like I know what you're talking about. I know that in Mariupol, Russia killed more Ukrainians in what was it, like 20 days, less than a month. They killed more
Russia
people.
bombed literal hospitals with non-combatants in them because there were injured soldiers who could no longer fight inside of them. Which, by the way, is a war crime.
And
Like,
Ukraine
you
Well, of
can't
blew
course.
do
up a
that.
bus full of Belarusian children. That's also a
Yeah,
war crime.
that's
So,
also a war crime. Like, but we're over here talking about what's going on in freaking Gaza when, like, if you look at the Russia-Ukraine war, like, both sides are committing fucking war crimes, like some really bad ones.
way
Yeah,
worse
but
than
listen,
Israel and way worse than Gaza. Well, maybe
but by
not worse
sheer
than
number,
Gaza, but worse than Israel.
well, actually, the numbers in Mariupol, that's why I was saying that more people died in less than 1 month by Russia than in the whole 3 years of the Gaza war. Like 1 month, more than 3 years. So kind of weird to make like Israel the focal point, just in general.
Here, I'll even pull it up. Give me 1 second. Russia-Ukraine war. So we have the actual numbers.
What country invaded what country?
So the United Nations Human Rights monitoring the verified 16,126 civilian deaths in Ukraine since the full-scale invasion in 2022. However, the UN stresses that the actual toll is significantly higher as many deaths in conflict zones remain unrecorded. Plus, you also have to factor in they've been killing non-combatants, injured soldiers who are in hospitals and or medical facilities. Um, like, oh, they were gonna blow up a fucking reactor facility? Like that, like that's a good idea. Um, we're gonna skim over that. That was, yeah, let's pollute the entire area.
Legit. Yo, Graham, have you ever seen the Iran's counting clock that they have in their town square?
He might be away from his keyboard.
Oh, I think people should just when they talk about like who attacked who, what country invaded who, and all this stuff. It's pretty epic. They should just like type in countdown to Israelis' destruction in Iran. Go to images and see what you find. You're gonna actually find a literal clock in what they call Palestine Square in Iran. It's a. I'm not even joking. Like just Google the shit. It's a giant like screen, and it's a countdown to Israel's destruction. And that's just something they display
they said
in Iran.
classic whataboutism. What about Ukraine? What about Russia?
That's not whataboutism. It's I'm proving hypocrisy. So anybody who tries to make that a whataboutism argument, there have been more innocent deaths in Ukraine and Russia with that war than in Gaza.
It's not that it's a whataboutism, man. It's just like, let's face it. There's so many things you can talk about. You can talk about the Sudanese like fucking massacre right now. A bunch of like Christians getting like beheaded. You could talk about Saudi Arabia starving literally 500,000 people in Yemen right now. Like as we speak, like, that just happened. Like literally, like this has been happening. Half a
Do
million.
you guys
And I
want
can
to
keep this
read this comment? Palestine and has been under apartheid occupation for 70 plus years, and Ukraine has
yeah.
had serious military defense program. The two are not the same. Slava Ukraine, free Palestine, fuck America, fuck Israel. I'm going to say fuck Ukraine and fuck both sides of that war because even though I am ethnically related to both, Russian and Ukrainian people, I don't give a fuck. Like, there's not a winning side. It's not comparable to
The
Israel.
Ukraine war would have
Like, both
never
sides
happened
are
if NATO.
stupid. Both sides are stupid.
Wait, no,
Go
this is
ahead.
what
It's true, though.
a
Go
lot
ahead,
of
Don.
Euro.
I agree with
A
you. Go
lot
ahead.
of
I'll
people
let you
don't
finish.
know what caused this whole fucking situation. If NATO didn't try to bring Ukraine into NATO, Ukraine would still be left alone right now. We made an agreement, a verbal agreement, albeit it wasn't on paper, but it was in a verbal agreement that NATO would not push further towards Russia's border towards the end of the Cold War. We have violated that in every fucking sense since. The final straw for Russia was when they tried to bring Ukraine into fucking NATO, because Ukraine directly borders Russia. It is connected by land. There are other
Dude,
smaller countries that I believe are involved with NATO right now that are connected to Russia, but Ukraine was the biggest one.
listen,
The United States made a promise. NATO made a promise we would not encroach on their border, and we
Yes,
have been anyway.
Lithuania is literally part of NATO, and they border Russia.
Yes, and
So
Lithuania is a lot smaller. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Russia was already pissed about Lithuania, and now then they were trying to bring fucking Ukraine in. If I was Russia, I'd be pissed too. Because NATO,
yeah, but
what NATO literally
listen,
fucking stands for is anti-Russia, anti-China.
yeah, but listen, directly to this guy who's saying he's pro-Ukraine, but he's for pre-Palestine. That doesn't make any sense, dude. How can you do both? Your Iran is getting all of their fucking weaponry and a bunch. What do you think? Like, I don't know if this guy, just real quick, for anybody who doesn't speak Russian, Ukrainian, think about the name Katyusha rocket. The fuck do you think that name comes from? Katyusha. Like, literally. Like, Russia supplies weaponry to Iran. So you can't be pro-Ukraine and pro-Palestine. That's retarded. That means that, like, you are for the people. You don't want. You are against the people who are killing Ukrainians, but you're for the people who bring weaponry to fight Israelis, and they're supplied by the same people who are killing the Ukrainians. That's brain rot. That doesn't make sense. Like, Russia, Iran, they're allies. Iran supplies Hamas directly, and then they fight the Israelis. So you can't do both. Like, it doesn't make sense unless like you have a weird view of Russia where you're like, it's all good that they supply Hamas, but I hate they kill Ukrainians. Like, it's brain rot. You can't have both. You can't be pro Russia, or sorry, pro Ukraine, but pro Palestine. You can't do both. It doesn't actually make any fucking
Well,
sense.
there are a
Literally
lot of
none.
pro-Russia Democrats who also are pro-Ukraine, and it doesn't make sense.
he was pro-Ukraine and pro-Pally. How the fuck does that make any sense? Like he literally just said, and that's not only that. Ukraine is predominantly a Orthodox Christian country, and not to mention the connection that a lot of Jews are Ukrainian. So I mean, there's multiple
Yep.
things you can really say, multiple different aspects you can look at it. It just doesn't make any sense in any way, like any way
Yep.
whatsoever. They hate Christians. They don't, and they hate the Ukrainian Jews. So what?
Wait, I also have a question because somebody mentioned this about me, or mentioned this to me recently, and I don't know if that's true or not. Vinny might know. Vinny,
What-
wasn't Israel donating weapons to Ukraine?
A lot. A
That's what I
shitload.
thought. That's what I thought. So, wait,
100%.
let's put two and two together. So, Russia's fighting Ukraine. Russia's allied with Iran, who happens to be allied with Hamas. Israel is supplying weapons to
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we spark a war between Palestine and Israel, then the weapons coming from Israel going to Ukraine are no longer being moved because they're going to be focused in Israel fighting Hamas.
Someone said get a microphone, you bum. Here, my microphone is literally plugged in. Will this make you feel better? Take a look. I don't know.
Vinny,
I can't even show
when
it to
I
you, but you
point
guys
that
can
out,
look
does
at it.
that seem a little peculiar?
I mean, it's funny, right? But it's like, at the same time, consider this. If like Israel is just a bunch of nothing without the United States even pays for healthcare. How do we even have money to send to Ukraine? How do we even have weaponry to give it to them? Or is this just another deep conspiracy theory where
That's
we
American
get aid?
weaponry.
Right, because we're so broke that our healthcare is paid for, but then everything else that we have, somehow we also have enough to give aid to Ukraine. It's weird how
Which
it
I
all
find
works.
interesting. You're pro Ukraine, but you're pro Palestine. But Israel was literally giving arms to Ukraine.
That's brain dead.
What? What is
Ukraine
wrong
is
with you
also
people?
conservative. They said, "You like Putin? You aren't a conservative." Both Russia and Ukraine are conservative countries. Like, you would not walk down the street with that little bullshit gay flag and that transgender bullshit even in Ukraine. So I'm sorry, you
No.
live in
I'm pretty
Norway.
sure in Russia, I was gonna say in Russia, don't they literally kill people for coming out gay?
Not kill them, but they put them in prison.
I thought they put. Yeah, I was gonna say they put them in like asylums or some shit.
If you fly the gay flag, the pride flag, you go to prison. Russia is extremely conservative. This guy says Russia isn't conservative. Yes, they are. So is Ukraine. Both of them are extremely conservative countries.
Yep.
Let me look this up.
Jews detected.
Jews detected, huh? Jews detected. MAGA Jews? MAGA Jews
There,
detected.
Hey,
there it
Graham, real
is.
quick. Your mic does sound a little
Does
far
it
away
sound
from
better
your.
now?
Let me check the live. Hang on.
Okay, I can hear it.
Okay,
Yeah, it
so
should sound
the
better.
Russian government maintains strict anti-LGBTQ BTQ policies. Holy shit, and enforces systemic discrimination. State-sponsored restrictions, including bans on same-sex marriage, gender transition, as well as the 2023 Supreme Court ruling that designated the international LGBT movement as an extremist organization in Russia.
Gay marriage is not legal in Ukraine.
Very
No,
anti-gay,
listen
it
to this.
appears.
No, listen to this. Ukraine is actually more pro-gay. So there, this is how crazy Ukraine's troops are. I'm not trying to, throw anyone out there because there's a lot of, I don't really care either way. I'm not trying to say they're bad, but this is just funny. They have literal rainbow patches with unicorns on them to show you that they're gay Ukrainian soldiers.
Oh my god, dude, one of your chats literally just said Zelensky was bombing ethnic Russians for years before the war started. Dude, Zelensky was the president for 2 years before the war started.
Yeah,
Do they
Lewinsky
just
was
like
busy
throw?
doing his stripper
Do they,
dances in Moscow.
yeah, like did they literally just say random shit? Like years? He was president for only 2 years before it happened. Like that's just wild. Like you couldn't even read that anywhere. It's like they just say random shit for funsies.
Y'all ever gonna open up the Discord again? What about the Discord? I don't see any notifications. What, you sent a wiener pic in there or something you want everyone to look at? What is it? What do you need?
Yeah, your Discord's set to invite only, and then only a mod could send an invite.
How the hell is it invite
Yo,
only?
Graham, actually, I want to ask that. I see this guy in the chat was talking about pride flags in the military. I'm actually curious about that because I'm Canadian, so I don't know really well. I've only actually just seen headlines and stupid YouTube videos. But tell me, is this true? Because here's the shit I see on TV is that they're showing like the American military is like just like allowing trans people in and they've lowered the standard and your soldiers are all
Yes,
getting weak. Is this like
yes,
is this a real thing? How much truth is there to this, if any?
there's truth to it.
That's 100% real. But now we
For real, eh?
banned the transgenders from joining the military because there was too many of them joining.
I mean, if you can't figure out your own gender, how should we expect you to figure out how to fight on the front lines?
But they're trying to overthrow it. They're trying to say we need more trans to come back in. I saw it was in the Supreme Court the other day. They're fighting about it.
No, we
Why
should
is it
not, because first of all, they're a liability. Uh, how, like, first of all, the U.S. government's gonna have to pay for them to get their fucking medication while they're overseas or in war. Why should we have to pay for that shit with our taxpayer money? It doesn't make sense. Instead, we should just allow normal people who don't need that medication to join the military. I also think we should get women the fuck out of the military. Well, now I support them in certain positions. I don't support them in the front lines I'm fine with them being medics. I'm fine with them being like marksmen, snipers, stuff like that. Helicopter pilots, Air Force pilots. I'm okay with that. I just don't think they should be on the front lines.
What about you,
It's a
Vinny? Were you in
liability.
the IDF?
I didn't get the pleasure of being in the IDF, but I'm 100% for women in the military because I've seen Israeli women perform, and like, let me tell you, when they are taught their Krav Maga, when they know how to use weaponry, like, there's a real difference, right? Like, if you're gonna, I always make fun of the North American liberalism, and I say empowerment to a lot of like American women, Canadian, North American, is like sending nudes and being like, "Oh, I'm so empowered. Here's me showing myself in OnlyFans." Empowerment to a hot Israeli woman is three dudes followed her into a back alley and she beat the living fuck out of them. That's empowerment. So
Vinny,
like,
this is why I'm fine with women being in the military in certain positions, like snipers, marksmen,
yeah,
Dons, can
helicopter
you
pilots.
change it so anyone can invite people into our Discord? Because only people with members only with a specific link can invite people to our Discord.
I
yeah.
mean, I can make an invite if you want.
No, it's
Give
only
me a sec.
invite only, apparently, or something. I don't know. Only moderators can
Well, if
invite
it's
people.
well, I'm a mod. That's what I'm saying. I can make an invite.
No,
You just make
allow everyone to make an invite so the Discord can spread.
Let
yeah,
me
yeah.
see.
You gotta make it a public one.
Allow
Give me one
anyone
sec.
to make a link. Anyone that wants to share the Discord should be able to share the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
especially Scotty.
I got an offside question. I'm gonna be real with you, but in my view, when I think about trans people, those are the last people I would even think about going into the military. Why is it that so many are going into the military? Like, literally, why? It doesn't. This is gonna sound so brutal. I'm just gonna fucking say it, but it sounds like the manliest shit you could possibly do is go into the military. So, like, why are trans people going to the military
I don't know.
to that degree that you're saying they're taking over?
I wouldn't say they're taking over. I don't know who said they're taking over, but there's quite a few of them. There's a lot of them joining in. I've even talked to multiple people that were in the army, and some of them even told me before, yeah, my leader was trans. Like, I've heard some from some army soldiers before. The fact that their lieutenant or their sergeant was transgender made them believe that transgender people were competent enough to do any job under the sun, even if they cut off their penis and they're completely mentally deranged.
That's wild. How did
I
they?
don't know.
Is it true that they lowered the physical tests? Like, is that for real? That like you guys actually like
I think it's been over a
lowered?
time, year after year, for the last 30 or 40 years. I think so, yeah.
So wait,
That's fuck.
somebody's saying what were they saying they couldn't do? Because I'm looking through the settings right now.
They're saying, there's Scott, you speak up, turn your mic on, and you talk to Dons. I'm not going back and forth with them. If you're the one that wants to change the settings, you tell them.
Yeah, Dons, let's go. Me and different VC.
Because he's the one that
Vinny,
speaks up.
I would actually argue
Uh,
that trans people would make great soldiers. I mean, you have high unaliving rates. They completely terrorize everyone else. Just throw them in there, live grenade. I would
Yeah.
love to see. I would love to see a trans person going against a Muslim terrorist. It would make my day.
Well, look, but bro, from like a realistic perspective, like if the United States is lowering their standard to make it so that like someone who's like trans can still participate, if that's what you're going to call it, in the army, isn't that like actually crazy? Like China and like random like Arab armies, they're not like being like, oh, like we want to make sure to keep it fair for you so you can still be part of the team. They're like, that's not what they're doing, right? Like they're beheading people. So like I don't know if like taking a soft approach to like getting soldiers is the way to go. Like that's pretty wild.
I'm
Like
glad
actually,
you're
like
here because someone says explain the 8 genders of the Jewish Talmud.
There's no 8 genders. There's 2 genders and 6 genetic malformities that is discussed.
Oh,
They have 2 people that they just display their signs of maturity later in life. There's no 8 genders. It's only 2 genders you got there.
this person clearly has no idea what the Talmud is, and they think it's like some fucking
can you repeat
thing
that
that
one
every
more time? Because I accidentally clicked out the Discord like an idiot.
Sure, there's only two genders mentioned in the Talmud, and then there's six genetic malformities that are discussed. There's no eight genders. There's only two genders, and then there's six things that are genetic malformities that we still have today. So no, there's no eight genders in the Talmud.
Yeah, and I gotta add in there because it's very important. This is clearly a person that tries to like turn the Talmud into something that it's not. The Talmud, I'm gonna put it this way: your Bible, your Old Testament is the Tanakh. It's the same shit that we have. That's where you got it from. Okay? The Talmud is not that. The Talmud is a bunch of rabbis essentially talking about every possible situation that could ever happen, and they argue about it. And it's over a long span of time, many years. That's why it's written on and written on. And so you have a lot of opinions. That's what it's meant to do. You read, somebody says, well, what about this person? Oh, there's more genders. Well, somebody says, no, there's actually this hermaphrodite. What about this hermaphrodite? What about this person identifies like this? That's all it fucking is. So like when people are quoting the Talmud, it's the same thing as, let's say beside your Bible was another book and it was just a bunch of priests arguing like, what if Jesus actually walked like this? What if he actually prayed like this instead? Well, what if he had this belief? And then another priest responds to that. That's what the Talmud is. So as far as trying to like claim the Talmud is like, oh my God, can you believe the things it says? To be clear, it's a bunch of rabbis just arguing shit with each other. That's what
So
it is.
real quick, one pause. I want to let Euro know what I did. So Euro, I didn't make it where everyone could, but anybody now that has the vetted role. So anybody who gets vetted in this Discord can send out invite links.
Great. Awesome.
That way we don't just have randoms who join the Discord and like spam invite people. They have to be vetted before they can invite people to the Discord.
Awesome. Everyone in the comment section, join the Discord down below. They want to know what's the difference between gender and sex.
There is no difference.
There's
Gendered words are just a better way to describe someone based on their sex.
You know, all of the people asking it, I think it's like a fucked up thing to say. They might offend them, but I'm just going to be real. Those people probably don't speak another language. If you're in America, I'm hoping you speak Spanish and you recognize there are things that are clearly, I speak Spanish. Things are masculine and feminine in Spanish. It's not misogynistic when I say mi padres and it sounds like my dad's and it means my parents. It's not because it's misogynistic towards men. La mesa, a table, is feminine. So they're gendered. So gender and sex is just a matter of speech. English, I think, if I'm not mistaken, might be the only language that doesn't have gendered things. Every other word, every single other language does.
Well, we have
Kelbi
gendered
in
things. Cars are female, boats are female.
they're not.
In
The
America,
car.
yeah, they
A
consider
car.
no. We all cars are considered female. Like for people who actually like own cars, it's an actual thing.
I mean,
What
maybe
he's
because you
referring
give
to
it
is the
a
language
good.
itself. Like you have Nino and Nina, right? It's the
Yeah.
same thing, which means it's yeah, exactly.
You guys have like I'm gonna get too nerdy with you guys, but like in English you have something called what do you call it? Um, not an infinitive. Fuck articles. Articles. The word a and the. If you actually ask somebody in another language, even if I asked you, explain to me what the is. Really stop and think to yourself, what is the? The is a random word that you've created to introduce another word, and that was
I
like
don't
in.
think I don't think German has gendered words.
You sure?
I don't think so. I mean, I knew it a long time ago. I haven't practiced in forever, but I'm pretty sure it didn't.
Fair enough. You know what? Like, I'll take your word for it, but just to be clear, almost every so like languages that stem from Latin,
I
which is the majority of them, and uh, uh just about I think every
was
other one
dying. Sorry about that.
at that point. No worries. They're all either masculine or feminine. So gender and sex, like they're obviously asking this because it's like down to the LGBT thing. Trying to make neutral conversation is a distinctly English thing. Like as an example, my grandmother doesn't speak English in trying to explain to her the idea of they them, you can't translate it in another language.
No, I always
It
it
doesn't work.
doesn't translate in English either because when I hear someone call them they or them, my
Yeah.
first thought is
How
I didn't
many?
realize you are plural people.
Yeah, like how many they?
How many
You know,
they?
you
How
know.
many them? How many?
Yeah,
Like what?
yeah, like they are coming for me. How many them? Like how many of them? Or you mean the one? Like it's unclear. Like you can't converse it anymore.
Yeah, because they is supposed to be plural, and so is them
Can
generally.
someone put a Discord link in the chat? My Discord links never work.
Vinny, I do want to point out to you that the word "the" is just a general noun that turns something into a specific.
No,
We have the same thing in
no,
Hebrew with the
no,
letter "hey."
not a noun. A noun is a person, place, or a thing. The is not a person, place, or a thing.
I'm saying
It's an
it's a
article.
general. It turns something into a noun.
No,
It
no.
makes it into a
It's
specific.
no, no, no.
It denotes.
Listen. If there's one thing my brutal fucking parents did is they sent me to British English school when I moved to Canada, and we had to take parsing, which was grammar class, an hour a day every fucking day for 7 years when I was in Canada. And so I know this shit distinctly. An article is called, sorry, the is an article, and its position is to introduce a noun. It's not a person or place or a thing. It's a word that is not translatable to any other language.
I'm
Because if it
saying it
was a
means
noun,
that in other languages, not in English.
okay.
Or
But if I said to you, give me a the, show me a the, what is that?
you want to claim it's an adjective?
No, I'm literally asking you, give me a the, show me a
They're
the.
saying, even the chat saying it's
What is,
article. Everyone in the chats is
yeah,
saying that's an article.
like literally,
I'm
what
not
is
saying
a
Chat
it's
is
the?
not true in
actually based
English.
for
I'm
one.
saying is in other languages that have specific letters to denote specificity, you would see this. Again, it's used in other languages as a general noun in order to promote the idea that this is unique.
But what do you guys think about atheists? This is a little bit of a boring topic. I'm not really a big fan of grammatical debates. But what do you guys? How do you guys feel about atheists in general? Like people that think nothing just came from nothing.
I mean, I may not be Catholic or Jewish or
Christian.
Muslim or like any of that or Christian because I'm Norse pagan, but uh I don't particularly agree with atheism. So I mean, that's just my stance.
I don't think they understand what they reject. And I think that if you ask somebody specifically, when they say like, well, I don't believe in God, and you ask them, what is that? Tell me exactly what it is you're talking about. The more you speak to a person that's atheist, the more that I seem to realize that I don't actually think that they themselves even understand what they're rejecting. You
I
know,
will
I mean,
say I can tolerate atheists more than I can neo pagans. Neo pagans just they make my skin crawl as someone who's
no,
traditional Norse pagan.
to me, dude, honestly, atheists are most silly. I don't like. The most common thing that I've said this to other people. I'm like, well, what is it then? What do you mean you don't believe in God? They say, well, I don't think there's a big sky daddy in the sky, and I'm like, I don't either. I've never in my life heard any Jew or Christian say there's a giant sky daddy in the sky. Like, so, like, it just when you get them to explain what it is they're rejecting, I don't think they have any fucking clue what they're rejecting, to be
I
honest.
was gonna say in every religion, like even Norse paganism, right? Like the gods exist in a different realm from the one we live in. So God would not exist in the sky in Christianity. He would exist somewhere else.
Well, how do you
Just
even
like
explain this?
hell would exist somewhere else.
Like the deepest shit that like I think you would understand as a human is probably like space and time. What is it that holds
Yeah.
space and time? Like what is that? What made that? Like there's always like even science itself always has to contend always to one miracle, which is the Big Bang, which is that there was
Yeah.
so much nothing that the nothing compressed itself and exploded into everything. Like all of
Which is
science is still
which
always rooted on one miracle. And so I just think it's silly to say that you don't believe
Well,
there's a
what's
God.
funny about that, Vinny, is like Norse paganism explains that through like the world tree, right? Because like the world tree is the beginning of everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like every religion has a form of something where it says like it started from somewhere. Norse paganism, it's the world tree. Catholicism, it's like the what was it, the days of creation where God created the world. Um, it's like it's just like every religion has like some explanation for the existence of everything.
Do you
Randomness
are you
is asinine. This is what someone says in the comment section.
It is. It is absurd.
I mean,
Like,
You know
I
what's
mean,
weird
we
too?
know
and the
for a
funny
fact
part is
nothing was created from nothing. So just to believe
yeah.
nothing was created from nothing is idiotic.
What's
You know
funny
what,
about this
like,
whole situation is I may be Norse pagan, but I'm also received all my sacraments as a Roman Catholic. So like, um,
you have to explain to me,
because
what do you mean you're Norse pagan?
I'm
Like,
Norse pagan.
what,
I'm Norse
what does
pagan.
that
Like
mean? Like you believe in many gods? Like, what are you saying?
I yes, I believe in the Norse gods, but my father's Norse pagan. My
It's
mom's
actually
Roman
way
Catholic.
more common than you would think, Vinny, especially in the United
Yeah.
States. I've met multiple people that were.
What?
And I'm talking traditional Norse pagan, not neo paganism, where I pick what god I believe in. I don't believe in all the Norse gods. Like, brother, you might as well be fucking atheist at that point.
Wait,
Or he what is it? Fucking
wait, hang
oh
on. Do
my
you believe in like Thor and Freya and
yes,
Odin? Like
yes, yes,
legit?
yes.
So okay, so to be clear, like you genuinely do believe that there's like Odin who like dies every night and comes back to life every night?
I mean, do you realize that there's that Norse mythology has its own version of Jesus Christ, kind of? It's Baldur.
I've heard
Baldur
it, yeah.
sacrificed. Yeah, Baldur sacrificed his life during Ragnarok to save humanity.
Okay, but you believe that the gods all dine together in a great hall, and that there is in fact like a three-headed, like full-on like dog kind of thing that like guards the gate? Like that's a real thing you
Brother,
believe?
you are confusing Greek mythology with Norse mythology now.
Did they not believe, the pagans did not believe that Cerberus was like
No,
guarding the gate?
no, Cerberus is fucking is Greek and Roman.
Dude, you gotta read your Percy Jackson. Come on, man.
I clearly need to,
Holy
man. Dude,
shit, man. Holy
dude, I'm
shit.
sorry. I didn't think there was actual pagans. I didn't think there was actual pagans. Like, how does that guide your moral value? Paganism.
Well, it's actually surprisingly it's a lot of depending on what god you specifically patron to. Like
Wait, so
it could
you
be
pick which god you want? What do you?
you have like specific gods that like you specifically patron to. Yeah, like you'll have some people that particularly
Did Ragnarok
follow
did
like
Ragnarok already happen? That's what they want to know.
I mean in theory, if we go by the way the world is played, most likely.
So you believe you're gonna go to Valhalla and stuff?
I believe though that Ragnarok is technically already happened. Nowhere in Norse mythology does it say the
Wait,
world ceases to
is Cash
exist after
Patel
Ragnarok.
is Cash Patel a Norse pagan? Because he was talking about how him and Charlie Kirk are gonna be in Valhalla together, and that's like a
No,
Norse.
he's a fucking neo pagan. I don't even get me started on Cash Patel.
He's a neo pagan. What the hell is the difference between a neo pagan and what you
People
are?
people who pick and choose what specific things they want to believe from the Norse belief instead of following it completely.
Oh, that's
That's wild,
crazy.
dude. I've never in my life met somebody who actually says they're pagan before, so this was like
Our
pretty next level.
FBI director apparently is pagan. Like I remember when Charlie Kirk got
What?
shot in the neck. Yeah, our FBI director, Cash Patel, the FBI director, he's pagan.
Like okay, so there's when they say pagan, sorry, when they say paganism, there's like all different types. So you technically like your Wicca, which I don't fucking associate with, are technically pagan. But you have different religions that fall within paganism. So like there's Norse paganism, there's spiritualistic paganism.
Someone says paganism is a part of our everyday lives, unfortunately.
That's wild, dude. I actually didn't know that. Like, I'm not kidding. I've
Yeah.
never in my entire life met anybody until this moment. I'm 38. Nobody's ever said to me the words
Well, the
before.
funny part is, Vinny, most of us
That.
are chill. Like we're chill, down to earth people. We're
Wait, do you have to be a
it's.
warrior to go to Valhalla? Because now they're telling me in the chats, they're like, if you want to go to Valhalla, you have to become Valhalla. You have to become a warrior.
I mean, I was a volunteer paramedic and firefighter for 10 years. I think that qualifies.
So that means our FBI director thought Charlie Kirk was a warrior. That's why he's going to Valhalla. I mean, he literally did die fighting against the demon rats. I mean, it doesn't really
I
get.
mean, theoretically, warrior doesn't have to be someone who fought. It could be someone who led. So technically, yeah.
I mean, he died in
Dude,
war, literally.
I can't believe him. I can't believe I'm going with somebody in the side chat about this, legit. But like, animal sacrifices, like, is that a thing, or what are you practicing? Some modern paganism where you don't animal
Well,
sacrifice?
first of all, not okay. So there's a misconception here. Not all paganism does animal sacrifices. A
Okay.
lot of it is like okay, so a lot of it is just like basic shit, like burning sage, lighting candles, normal shit. Shit that
So,
we even do in our churches.
so
Like,
do you or do you not sacrifice animals?
I do not sacrifice animals.
There's no blood rituals of any kind.
There are no blood rituals of any kind.
I see. I see. But
Dude,
this
I mean,
sounds
that
like
would
some.
Scott,
also that would also that would also literally go against like my
Scott,
patron.
why are you
Just
just
being
like
honest here.
pulling everyone into the main chat room? Like we have it separated out for a reason. Like,
It sounds like a. It sounds like a diet paganism. Like when I think of paganism Norse style, I'm thinking of like getting a sheep, fucking slopping its like,
Yeah, but that
bones
would that
against
would
the
literally that would literally go against my specific patron god because my specific patron god is Freyr, which is the god who governs harvests, raids, sunlight, and the bounty of the land. That
Scott,
would be
just so
kind
you
of
know, don't
counterintuitive.
pull any more people into the chat, okay? Thank you.
Like,
That's fine.
let's be real here. Vinny, wouldn't that be kind of counterintuitive to my patron deity?
I don't know, dude. I've never heard of the whole concept of like you can choose which god is the one that you want. That is a concept in general. I think it's
Yeah,
very.
like in Norse paganism, generally people have specific gods they patron to. Like you'll have people who specifically worship Thor. You have people that are more nature oriented that may worship like Vanir, Freyr, like stuff like that.
Wild. Okay. And then you have a community? Like, is there like a place you guys go and like you pray together? Is that a thing?
We have like people. A lot of us have like altars in our homes and shit.
What do
Capo, I
you
do
what do
want to
you
ask
do?
you. Cap, I do want to ask you. A lot of the pagans that I meet nowadays, online and around, a lot of them are pagan because they reject anything to do with any Jewish influence, especially Christianity, because they see the disciples and Jesus as being Jewish and they want nothing to do with it, and so they have to go back even
Oh no, see,
further paganism.
I don't reject Christianity at all.
No, I'm asking what you think about those people who believe paganism as opposed to Christianity because they want to go back to
They're
everything
fake
before Abraham.
pagans. They're fake pagans. That's what I was saying about like neo-paganism. A lot of the people like that claim they're pagan pick and choose what part of the pagan faith they want to worship. Um, and that's not how religion works in any religion. Like when you're in, you're in. You don't just decide, oh, I believe in this, but I don't believe in that, or I support this. And also you have people who say they're pagan but they're Wicca, and those are fucking demon worshippers. Like even
What the
fucking
hell
like
is
the Vite
Wicca? What the hell is Wicca?
they are fucking witches, brother. They are mentally ill people who commune with demons.
That's crazy. They're all laughing at you because none of them think that you're gonna go to Valhalla just for being an EMT and a firefighter. They think that you're not a real warrior.
That my brother that is literally attending that would be online with being a warrior. I literally ran into burning buildings and saved people's lives.
I don't think they're
Yo, this
convinced.
this this person in your side chat who was saying the Jews chose Yahweh, research your religion. You know what? That's actually very true. Like, because I've argued that with people before. Like, I feel like this person's probably trying to be anti-Semitic or something, but like, the fact is, he specifically says, "I am the God." Hashem says, "I am the God that delivered you from Egypt and freed you. You will worship no gods, and you will have no gods before me, none." And I always argued, I'm like, is that a way of admitting that there are other gods? Because like, what kind of thing is that to write down? You will accept no other gods. Like, you shall have no other gods before me. That almost implies there must be other ones. So like, I actually do agree with that statement that they chose Yahweh. I do, and in a weird way, I actually do believe that like he was the greatest of the gods in a weird
Well, if
way.
you look at it this way, there's a lot of cross similarities between like Christianity and Norse paganism and like quite a few religions out there. Like I don't know if you read like the Bible, you hear shit about the
Yeah,
Nephilim,
yeah,
and like in the
yeah.
Bible, if you then go and look at Norse paganism, brother, the Nephilim are fucking giants in Norse paganism.
You know what's so weird about that, dude, is that like they have found like actual like archaeology has found like oversized like skeletal remains that are like
Yes.
fucked up. So like there is
Um,
things that are weird there. But yo, Samson, are you still in
yeah,
here?
but I can weigh in on
I
that
want to
actually.
listen,
So you
bro.
see in the
I
caves.
want to hear what you I want to hear what you specifically have to say about that
So
line.
when you see,
You
yeah,
shall
so when
have
you see,
no gods before me.
I can tell you right
Does
now.
that
So
does
when
that
you
imply
see
there's other
in,
gods?
so when you see the English translations, then it says they translate it as other gods, but in the ancient Hebrew, as you know, it's Elokim Acherim. So it's a plural noun, right? And when you basically you well going back to grammar, but when you pair it with a singular verb, it's referring to a singular God of Israel. So in Exodus 23, when you see the word Acherim, which means other, it meaning it must be referring to plural, and that's where people get confused, meaning other gods. But then you look at the next word, which is before me, which is al panei, which means in my presence, meaning when you want to say that there's other gods, no, people back then were worshiping the sun, the moon, all things that are within God's domain. So God was
Hmm.
saying al panai, against my face, don't worship things that I created, worship me. So that's where
Yeah.
the misconception comes from, and people think that it actually means acherim as in other gods, not other things within my
Mm.
creation. Don't worship a servant of me.
Oh,
Mm.
do you guys want to hear my crazy theory? I think that Norse paganism actually worships the same god as Catholicism, and all the minor gods below, like Odin, are actually just the fucking angels because there's a lot of similarities with the descriptions and personalities of the angels beneath God in the Bible to many Norse gods.
Bro, I don't even know what to say. That's just so wild.
Even I've
I
never
don't
heard of
know.
that.
I don't
It
know
would make
anything.
sense. It would
I
make
don't know
sense.
anything
Think
about
about
the
it.
like
People,
the.
because like when they tell the story of the Nephilim and angels having children with humans, um, like the part of the world that that would make sense in, if you look at how fucking Norse paganism came into existence and like Norse mythology, would be that specific area of the world. So maybe the angels were having kids over where the fucking Vikings were with humans. Like,
Gods, they're telling me to reject you right now. They're saying, Graham, I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but you should be screaming. Let me guess, he's a MAGA god, so you're subtly open minded. No, I'm not open minded to this bullshit at all. To make it clear as fucking day for everyone, I'll tell you my fucking opinion. I think it's bullshit. I think paganism is insanity. But if someone wants to believe in it, you can make the same argument towards Christianity. You can say I'm insane for believe in a magic daddy in the sky. You know, like Vinny said
and
before.
Euro doesn't mind what I believe in because I don't bash on other people for believing in
Exactly.
Christianity
I
at
would have
all.
no problem
And
with
I'm
someone even being Muslim, but the only thing is the majority of Muslims are that at least come into our
you know,
server. They're constantly bashing on Christians and Jews
and
and
I'm
other
and I'm
religions.
well versed in
Yeah,
Christianity. Actually, I'm well
but this
versed,
is
more
actually
well versed in Christianity than some Christians. It's actually sad. Ask
Capo.
Euro. There have been debates in this Discord.
They keep
Capo, I
calling
just
you
want to
a neo pagan over and over again. By the way,
Capo, it's literally the exact same thing, by the way, because when again the ancient Hebrew, when you look in the verse, which is in Genesis, when you see Nephilim first mentioned, again it uses the same term of that I mentioned earlier of B'nai Ha'elokim, which means the sons of God. But if you look at the word that's used, the specific name of God that's used is Elokim, which means Almighty, powerful. And so people take that to
Yes.
mean the angels instead of just powerful humans like the judges, the kings of the time.
Yeah.
So the translation is all up to the person reading it, but if you look at the exact context of the words that were used, it doesn't really fit the idea of angels that came down to breed with man because again angels have no physical form.
Yo, I gotta say, there's some guy in your side chat who like I'm gonna have to like go at him saying, worshipping a magic rabbi is way worse than worshipping gods that represent aspects of nature. I don't know, like I'm guessing that's not some like hardcore Jew, but it almost sounds to me like an attack on Christianity. That's actually literally retarded because like at the end of the day, every single thing that Jesus preached was fundamentally good. You don't even have to believe that he was the son of God. You don't have to believe any of that. Objectively, if you're just a person looking at like the things that he said, they're objectively good. So like to refer to Jesus as a magic rabbi is like retarded. I get it all. Like I understand. I've heard all these tropes before, right? Because like the tropes are like, oh, he like turned water into wine. He could walk on water. Like so, he's like magical. Like you can get shitty about it like that, but like also you could just simply look at the things that he said. And like I'm symmetrical about this. Like the reason that I shit on Muhammad and everything in Islam is because the things they say are vile. The things that Jesus says are good. Like they just are. So it's kind of it sucks to call him a
Now,
magic
there are
rabbi.
some things that were said in the Old Testament that were vile, but
Like
you
what?
know,
Like what? Like what?
I mean, it was a darker time. I'm not shitting on the Old Testament.
No,
I'm
no,
saying
but
it was a
like
darker
what?
time.
Like what?
No,
I'm
just
not
name
kidding you.
one, Dons. We're
I
not
lit-
trying to
I literally,
agitate you.
21
We're just
sec.
asking for one example. You can take
yeah.
your time and
I,
pull it up. If you need to use Google, go ahead and use Google.
1 second.
Put down $5 that he brings up
Lol,
sex slaves.
Oh,
Islam is literally the spark notes of Christianity.
no, that's it. Yeah.
wait, what were you saying? You got $5 on what? I want to hear this.
No, no,
Books
keep
was
going.
made along with Sean to fix it. You know, like it's like people
Oh no,
don't read.
I was gonna bring up the Amalekites.
What about them? Tell me what you know about them.
Um,
And by the way, before you start, I just
God,
want to tell you real quick,
God
just so you
commanded
know,
the total
I just
destruction.
yeah. I just want you to know my very special Magen David here. There's a tablet inside. It's in nanotech. It's the entire Tanakh. And I also happen to keep it close to my heart because I think I have it almost entirely memorized to recitation. But go on, tell
Yeah.
me what you know about the Amaleks. Tell me what you know about them.
No, I was saying it was a darker time. I was saying he
No, no,
called for
no,
the total destruction of them, but it was a darker time. There was a lot of shit going on. And
no. That's fine.
God
You don't have
never
to
once in
listen.
the Bible stood against war, right?
You don't,
Never
bro.
once has
Listen.
God ever said
Hang
anything
on,
against
hang
war.
on. You don't have to excuse, like you're actually being overly kind about this. You're right. He did ask for their total destruction. I'm asking you, tell me what you know about the Amaleks.
Oh,
Do you know anything? I'm not trying to be rude, but do you know anything beyond that verse? Anything at all?
it's been a minute since I read the Bible now.
Okay,
I
got
might
All
it.
need
right,
to rebrief on it.
should we
So,
give you the
so
context about it?
So I'll give you some fun facts about the Amaleks. Firstly, the only way that the Amaleks are ever noted ever in history is from the Hebrew notes. So there's no Christian, Muslim, nothing. Like so, if we're going to be sticking to facts about them, it can only be from Jewish texts. It's the only time they're mentioned. So the first time they actually come up is when in Exodus. It's actually if you go through longer, it's when the Jews left Egypt. The first thing that the Amaleks did is they attacked for no reason, literally no reason. They attacked because they wanted to get slaves, so they aim for women and they kill the older, and they like to take children as well as slaves. They then go on in their history to attack the Jews for 7 generations, and they do this specifically during harvest times, is when their favorite time is. And what they would do is actually, ironically, weirdly shit, just like Hamas stuff. So they would wait for the men to be gone. They would kill the older people. They would take children as slaves, sex slaves, and women as sex slaves. They would eat all the food they could. They'd steal everything they could. And anything they couldn't carry back with them, they would light on fire. And they would do this completely unprovoked. And because the Amaleks, if you look deeper, kind of come back from the Edomites. I don't know if you're familiar where like that sect comes from, but these are people who practice things kind of like child sacrifice. So yes,
Yeah, I know.
indeed, our God said these people that practice child sacrifice and murder you and enslave your women and rape them and pillage them and kill you unprovoked for generations and generations, and they also sacrifice their own children, you should wipe these from the earth because everything they do is evil. So
Okay,
Oh
I
hold
have
no,
on.
no, no, no. I was
no
I was never
problem
saying
with
it wasn't condoned. I was saying that
you.
they're
But
like
you said it's a vile
God
thing.
has never been against doing atrocities for the greater good. And a
You're
lot of
asking
people
if
think
I'm
that like
Christian. Yes, I'm Christian.
nowhere in the Bible
Crazy.
does God ever say that war is bad. Like
Some
I
wars
don't
must be
understand
mean,
fought.
how some,
They're saying like
yeah,
Norse
like how some of these
pagans.
people.
so consider this. Before you get your sanitized, before the new sanitized version of the Bible starts talking about how Noah walked hand in hand with God, so he saved them. When you get to the pre part of that, the real
Hmm.
translation, and I remember this well, God says, I have created evil in the hearts of man, and I will destroy every man and woman and crawling thing. Vengeance is mine. That's Exodus, because he believed that what he made in mankind was evil. And that was the reason for the flood. So God had no problem with ridding the world of the entirety of mankind because he felt that they were evil. So to
Yeah,
say that
and
also
like
he wants the Amaleks killed who were like nothing but evil, like there's nothing vile about that. That's actually perfectly in line with the God of the Christian, the Jewish
no, I
Bible.
don't
Like,
mean vile. I don't mean vile in the sense like that. I mean like God has never been against committing atrocities for the greater good of mankind.
Someone says,
But
why
that
did Trump allow his
I wouldn't
daughter to
say it was an
convert to
atrocity.
Judaism?
why not? Like why not? I don't. What's wrong with that? I don't know. You know what I mean? I bet you it was hard for her. I don't.
Well, if he's a Christian, to be honest, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. If he's a Christian, I mean, I'm a Christian. That means he would be thinking that his daughter's
Fair.
probably not gonna make it to heaven.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's a fair point. I mean, I don't know. I think that like you take it one of the two ways, right? Like I respect Christians for the things that they believe. I have my fundamental disagreements with my prophecies being fulfilled. I can see it going one of either way, dude. I think that they both have like beautiful things that you can like and dislike. Like I'll be frank with you. I could see myself liking the idea that you promised me heaven and that you promised me is that if I follow
I'll be
Jesus'
back. I gotta
word,
use the bathroom.
uh, I can fall in line with the idea that if you say to me that if I follow in Jesus' path, I will go to heaven and I'll be rewarded for it, and this is what I have to do. I can also very much follow the Jewish idea, which is that there is no heaven, there is no hell. It's all about this life, and it's important to do everything you can in this one, and that, when the Messiah comes, we'll be resurrected as we were. I think either of those views that you want to take, I actually think it's fine. So I don't know. I don't see that as a bad thing.
You
Again,
do know there's a Jewish heaven, right?
say that again.
You do know that Jews believe in heaven, right?
Not really, dude. I don't
We
agree
believe
with
in
you.
an Olam Haba. Yes, we do.
We believe more in resurrection, though, to be clear.
Sure, but there's still a Gan Eden. There's still a heavenly garden. Yeah.
There is a heavenly garden, but you're to be resurrected when you, right? So it's a little different.
Well, no one's
Like
really
there,
clear on what that actually means, though.
I know, even like the like what's weird too is like technically speaking, tell me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it say that we also undergo a sort of like measurement process where it's almost like we kind of go to hell in a weird way
Well,
and we undergo a
there's no
judgment?
hell in Judaism, but the idea is that God
Right.
gives you a soul. The soul gets stained from sin,
Cleansed
and
and then
then you need
and then
to yeah,
cleansed.
and then
What
you
about Jesus? Oh my gosh, always with that.
it's not
That's
hell
what
in
I
the
mean.
traditional sense of Christianity, which
What
would be an
about
eternal damnation,
Jesus?
which is punishment. It's not
Uh,
punishment in that
I
way.
know, but to me, a cleansing of the soul sounds like you're going to hell for a temporary period because it's like your soul is being cleansed,
Sure,
you're being measured. Kind
sure,
of sounds like we're having a little
but it's not
Airbnb of
punishment. That's the
the.
difference there.
You're right, you're right. It's not punishment, but I do feel like we get a little dosage of hell for a bit to like burn away the sin. It does kind of give me that
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
But what's funny to me is that many people don't know that Jews believe that everybody, even if you're not Jewish, is going to heaven as long as you're a
Yeah.
good person. And not many
Yeah.
people know that.
Dude,
But we
that's
do
like
believe in a heaven.
sort of, sort of. Not well,
There's
not
no
there. You're
sort of
right.
about
Just
it.
not the Christian idea of heaven.
Definitely not.
No, and certainly not Johanna. You know? Yeah. I love that. You know what I love about is like that the hypocrisy in Islam, you even have it in their view of heaven. The fact that like you're not allowed to drink alcohol as a Muslim, but in heaven there's like rivers of alcohol. It doesn't specify
Yeah,
the kind. It doesn't
it's
say
funny
wine, but it's like rivers of alcohol, and
because
it's like
their
what?
whole heaven has nothing to do with Allah and everything to do with earthly pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just like I love the idea of you're not allowed to drink, but when you get to heaven, there's just like rivers. You can just get all fucked up. Like,
You ever
why
seen
then?
that?
I don't get it. Like, is it good or is it bad? Which one is it?
You ever seen that meme where a Muslim kills himself, goes to heaven, and he walks in and goes, "Where's my 72 virgins?" And then you see 72 guys playing Magic the Gathering.
Oh my God, Jesus.
I've seen
Jesus
that
was an
before.
Antifa socialist, bro. I can't handle reading some of these side chats. Like, Jesus was an Antifa socialist. Like, I mean, there must be smoking my Canadian weed to say this kind of stuff. Like, it's just so wild.
Devil's lettuce.
Yeah. Holy shit, 3 Gs detected. I love that Graham, just because, oh, that's all it takes is you don't even have to support Israel. If you're not aggressively hating Israel and you're talking to Jews, it can only mean one thing, bro. That you yourself are Jewish. There's no other explanation, man. That's the only thing it could be. That's it.
I mean, I don't even think they realize that there's like 5 people sitting in these chats because they can just see Vinny and they can hear Samsung and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. God damn, that's funny.
I'm not even
So
seeing
good.
the comments.
No, I was just thinking, it's just funny, man.
The more I've been online, the more I realize some people are legit insane. Like people that look seem average people, they have insane beliefs.
Dude, I don't get like it's just crazy because all I end up sounding like is like I just hate Muslims all the time, but like I can't understand for the life of me like the majority of Jews, unless you actually catch them wearing a kippah, they just look like an American or a Canadian. They might have some olive skin, like they don't stand out to you. And like I'm sorry, but like let's just be real. Like I promise you, like someone who just came here from Syria, when I see 3 women, they do stand out. It's very easy for me to notice the people in hijabs who are speaking like Arabic in front of me, and they don't necessarily act the same way as everybody else in my country. Just saying it how it is. And so like it's so bizarre to me that it's like they pick Jews to like shit on. Because I'm just like, you wouldn't even like I bet you guys wouldn't even know any of these people are fucking Jewish if they wouldn't tell you or if they didn't wear their little kippah. Like you wouldn't even know. And I promise you I would always know who the hateful Muslims are because they stand out like a sore thumb. So it's so bizarre when they're so shitty about it. Like I don't know how much TikTok has rotted these people's brains to this
This
point.
guy says I'm Orthodox. Catholics are just too pro Jews. What are you talking about? Catholics are way more anti Jews than Orthodox.
God, that's absurd, man. I see Ari says he's a Jew. That makes sense, bro, with that name. That's 100%. I have 3 Aris in my family. Jews and
Lion
Jesus don't mix, even though Jesus was literally a Jew from
or Paul
Bethlehem.
or Matthew or John or
Right.
Luke.
Well, all of them, because all of them were,
One of them was.
right?
One of them wasn't though. One of them was Roman or something. Who was there?
Yeah, fair enough. But he still followed in the Yeah. It's just like the thing is that's funny about like when they say like, oh, the Jews like killed Jesus. Like, yeah, okay, so in the place where everybody was was Jews, everyone was Jews. He had 12 followers. All of them are Jewish. One of them stabbed him in the back. The rest were against it. So how does that work exactly? You know? Kind of just sounds like he had a shitty buddy. Sorry to like minimize it that much, but I'm just saying that if all of your friends are of one culture and like one of them sells you out and all the rest are against it. It's kind of a weird narrative. Be
This is
like,
the
oh, like the Jews
stupidest
fucking killed
comment
him.
of the night. Jesus unalive or Jews unalived Jesus and Charlie Kirk. No, they didn't. They did not unalive. It wasn't all the Jews that did that to Jesus. Technically, it was the Romans that killed
What's
Jesus.
actually funny about that is they like to go after the Pharisees, but if you look at the writings in the Gospels, you'll see heavily mentioned temple, the temple priests, and the synod, which is the court. Those were the Sadducees, not the Pharisees. The Pharisees were like the local community leaders that had some altercations with Jesus early on in the Gospels. But the actual crucifixion, you see overwhelming mention of the Sadducees because they were the ones in power and they were the Roman puppets at the time. And so when Jesus flipped over the tables at the temple, that was an affront to the Sadducees, not to the Pharisees. The Pharisees probably celebrated it. And yet the Catholics, they like to go after the Pharisees instead of the Sadducees, and the Sadducees were what we would call today Karaites. So that's just bizarre to me as well. Of course, you have John, and John mentions Pharisees were involved in the arrest. but I don't know if I should take John so seriously because there's some scholars that believe that John was actually written many years later, but not even by John, but by a Johannine community. Because the timeline doesn't really line up unless you say that he lived to a full 110 years. But even then, the average lifespan was not that great back then. So I guess it depends on who you ask. But either way, you don't see that the Pharisees were the ones who actually ordered out the crucifixion. You only see the Sadducees and the Romans. You don't see the Pharisees. You see the Pharisees after and before, never during.
They're all coping with the fact that Jesus was a Jew. I've seen like 20 people spamming back to back, Jesus wasn't a Jew. Yes, Jesus was a Jew.
Well, was he a Christian?
Make sure you
What
guys drop
exactly?
us a like, subscribe. I mean, Christianity is a religion. I mean, even if you want to make the argument that Jesus was, his religion was Christianity, he would still be ethnically Jewish.
I don't know why they say it's not. I mean, like he taught the Torah. That's what he taught. Like literally, like he taught Judaism.
And he said he fulfilled the Old Testament. I mean, would you fulfill the Old Testament if you weren't Jewish?
Right. Like I don't. It's just it's such a brain rot conversation, and it's not like Jews are trying to claim him. It's not like that. That's not the game. It's just it's a stupid thing to say. You know. If anything, it's like the fact that you're even in that land. It's like saying like that dude that was in China preaching that stuff that they do in China wasn't Chinese. That would just sound stupid. You know. So it's like, well,
What
what
do you
else would he
think?
be?
What do you think of this guy saying Talmudic Judaism came after 70 years after Jesus died?
There's no such thing as Talmudic Judaism.
You know what that means?
There's
What
something
does
called
it
the
mean?
written law and the oral law. The oral law is has the same birth date as the written law. You can see
Yeah.
mentions of the oral law in the Old Testament, in the written law. So the Talmud is just literally just the writing downs, literally the putting the pen to the paper of what the oral law is and its debates. There's no such thing as Talmudic Judaism. If you want to say there's rabbinic Judaism, I would say there's maybe a way that you could say that because some laws are rabbinic, so you don't transgress God's laws, but there's no such thing as Talmudic law whatsoever.
Yeah, it's actually a thing that doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, like Samson is way more religious than I. Like, you're Orthodox, right?
Yep.
Okay, literally the other day we were having a whole debate about how I was saying that I don't eat kosher and it's because of the Talmud, and you were arguing back to me about how the Talmud actually answers it. Neither of us, however, are practice Talmudic Judaism because that doesn't like that's just like a weird. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Like that
Doesn't
just makes
exist
no. Yeah, yeah, like it's just like weird words being made up. Like I don't know what that even is.
with a slightly sinister undertone.
Yeah. And the thing is too that's like sad is like these people that bring it up, none of them have ever read it. And the main reason is because like I'll be frank with you, it's way too fucking long. Like there's so many books, it's just so lengthy. None of them have read it.
No, I know
Like none
one
of them.
guy that has two Talmuds. Obviously, that's not even anywhere near the full collection. But
Yeah.
he swears up
Nobody
and
reads.
down that he knows the Talmud, and he always used to quote me the same verse back to
I'd
back of
love to
Jesus.
debate him. I'd love
Jesus.
to debate him because
Yeah,
I've been
I mean,
studying
he's
it
not
for
in this
close to.
Discord. He's banned from this Discord, and I don't think he's
yeah.
interested in
I've been
So
making
what
studying the
he's
arguments
saying
Talmud
to
for
you,
close
because
to 15
because
years
of
now.
he's saying to you that he's read this.
15 years.
That is what he's saying he's read to you. All of it.
no, he has two of those.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So I
it.
doubt it.
He
Like
couldn't even
it's just
afford the
he
full
didn't read
Talmud
it.
collection. That would be too expensive for him. So
Yeah, like it's silly
Graham,
to
I
say that.
Graham, just to
Yeah,
put
go
it
on.
into perspective, I've been studying the Talmud for 15 years. 15 years, a lot of hours dedicated to it, and I've barely finished maybe 7 or 8 full books in depth. Okay,
and there's
so
50
for
books or
anybody
is
to
it
say that
25 books?
I can count for you right now. 1, 2, 3,
What?
4, 5, 6,
Are we
7,
including
8.
the whole Mishnah or no?
Well, the Mishnah is included, isn't it? So
Right.
one,
So
2, 3,
yeah,
4,
like
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
I guess
18,
it
19,
depends on which
20,
one you have.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
What version do
30,
you have, by the
31,
way?
32, 33,
Do you
34,
have
35,
do you have
36,
Masorean?
37. There are 37.
37. Okay.
Do you have Do you have
And there's
Mesopotamian
three
or what do
sub
you have?
ones that are included in one. So you have three different tractates in one book. So I have the Babylonian, the and I also have the Jerusalem, but it's
Yeah.
much smaller. So
Uh-huh.
actually, I think I've shown my entire library that I have over here in the server multiple times. It's quite large.
Bro, the side chat is hilarious, bro. I had no idea that you have like such an epic collection of trolls. They hate everything. They hate religion. It's not even just Jews. They hate all religion. They hate Trump. I don't even know what they like, bro. Do they like
What do
anything?
y'all like? Is there anything in life that makes y'all want to live? Do you
Yeah.
like a delicious steak or like I don't know
Like
anything?
that's what I'm wondering.
Pineapple on
Like
pizza.
like literally anything? Like it's so
Socialism.
wild.
We live
Scotty,
for socialism.
Scotty,
We live for the
Scotty.
day we will see
It's
socialism.
pineapple on pizza. You don't know this. Pizza was
Oh, they
invented
like
in
Star
Palestine.
Wars apparently. They like Star Wars, I guess.
Really? They like Star Wars even though half the actors were Jewish?
Oh, now they hate Star Wars. Congratulations, you just ruined Star Wars for them.
I could root a lot more. Listen, any of you in the comments, anytime you pick up a freaking ballpoint pen, I want you to think Jew. Every time you push a shopping cart, I want you to think Jew. Every time you play a video game, I want you to think Jew. Every single time you go to the supermarket and you see that little circle K on there, I want you to think Jew. Every single time you go and you use your phone, I want you to think Jew. All right? Every time you go to get a shot for anything, any sort of antibiotic, I want you to think Jew. Okay? We can go on and on and on, and I will make every part of your life miserable just knowing that it was created by Jews. I can do that easily.
Legit. So many of the haters, bro, but not even one has had the balls to like actually come up and like debate the topic, you know? Just like brain rot arguments. Do they ever come up, Graham? Do they ever like actually come and like try to like
They come in the
really like
debates all the time. Scott, you need to put the link in. Someone put the link in the chat so they can join in. I have the link in
because
the
that'd be
chat, but it doesn't open it for them for whatever reason.
What's funny to me, Vinny, is that they literally hate us to death, and yet we come up with so many life-saving medicine and sciences. So they hate us, and we'll still cure them. We'll still
uh
make things that'll benefit them in the long run, but they still hate us for it.
legit. Like it's kind of funny, but it's like no matter how much they hate it, it's like you hate Jews. Ah, Israel invented drip irrigation.
They're saying, what's the
Literal
Yeah.
topic? Well,
drip.
if you want to debate about Israel or
Um,
Palestine or any of that, this is probably your best opportunity if you actually want to hear from two educated people on the subject.
Vinny, Vinny, I actually
Mm.
just thought of this. We'll shove so much of it down their throat that they'll get a headache and they'll go to take an
Scott, when are
aspirin
you
and
going to
I'll
go
go,
into the
Jew!
chats? They keep saying they can't get in because there's no link, even though I posted a link.
Oh yeah, for the people in the comments, aspirin was created by Arthur Eichengrun, which was a Jewish chemist. So yeah,
You need to make me a moderator on YouTube.
Sure,
Who
drop a
killed
comment
Jesus?
and put the link. I'll make you a moderator.
Who killed Jesus? I'm guessing it was. Let me see. Let me check a fucking history book. Pontius Pilate sentenced him to death. Like, you know what I also want to like understand about when they ask that? Which one is it? You're gonna have to tell me. They're gonna have to pick. Did Jesus
Yo,
sacrifice
post the
himself?
link.
Did he sacrifice himself for the sins of mankind? Or did he historically get crucified by Pontius Pilate? Or did the Jews kill him? You're gonna have to pick one of those. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to like really select. It's gonna have to be one before they ask that stupid fucking question because it doesn't make any sense.
Now they're making fun of you guys. They said Jews invented the earth, and then another guy said Jews invented the sun.
Bro, we did. Those are just
Hmm.
facts, though. I mean,
Click
you know what I
that
mean?
link that Scott pinned down below if you guys want to join in for the
It,
debate.
it's written
Tell
down
them to
actually. Like, you know,
You
I don't know
guys
if they're
have to antagonize them, and then they'll join. If you speak shit
no,
about
bro. Like
Palestine, you
yeah.
antagonize them, they'll
listen,
join.
I'm I'm willing to like debate them on the quotes in the Talmud about how we invented the sun. Like I'm willing to debate that with them if they want me to explain like why we wrote that. I'm just
No,
saying.
they're too busy sleeping at home, squeezing their cushy little teddy bears. Oh wait,
Yeah.
teddy bears were created by Jews too.
Were they? I thought the first one was from Teddy
It was
Roosevelt. Or are
invented
we
by,
sure?
Morrison Rose. Yeah, it's made by the Brooklyn shopkeepers Morris and Rose Michton. They invented the teddy bear. Also, Blue Jeans, by the way. Blue Jeans, instant coffee. I could go on and on. Superman, we created Superman too. Superman's awesome.
Gregory, join the Discord link. It's pinned right down
Batman,
below.
Batman was made by a Jewish guy also. Actually, it was
We
a Jewish
got
guy
this.
and a non-Jewish guy.
We got this guy making up shit about Jesus boiling in excrement for misleading Israel.
Should we bother
You know?
going into Gittin 57 and so to
Yeah.
47 and Sanhedrin 58, 59a? Because I could go through all of those with you, my buddy.
You keep spamming them over and over again. I think it's time that we go through it
Great,
one more
great
time.
fighter. You know what I love about the false Hollywood space? Who invented Hollywood? False.
The
Oh, there
Jews
was no
control
Hollywood, was
Hollywood.
there?
Who created
But it
Hollywood?
could it be because they weren't
Who
given
created
any jobs
Polaroid?
by a bunch of fuck
Oh my shit.
like playing a fucking movie? And when you say false Hollywood space, but wait, where did Hollywood even come from? So how can it be false?
They're saying they can't join at
Jesus is
all. Is that
human,
even
bro. This is
true?
getting wild.
Is the
This shit's
links
gone
even
completely out of
open?
control.
Is it even open for people to join? I don't know.
Yep. What are the comments saying? I can't see the comments.
People just saying they can't join over and
They're pretty
over
crazy,
again, and
dude.
that Jesus ate
Like
humans.
actually crazy. Yo, Graham, who do you think's gonna be the next president? If
Marco
you actually had,
Rubio.
like, if let's say you had put a bet, okay, you're gonna put $1,000 fresh. Who are you betting on?
Newsom.
Well, I would have to see who runs, but if Marco Rubio runs, Marco Rubio.
Fuck yeah.
They want you to chat
Holy,
about Palestine. Tell us about how fantastic Palestine is.
Well, I don't know if you got the update, but it's called Israel now. It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
No, I didn't get
yeah.
that update. Did that update happen before or after the settlers?
Settlers? What settlers?
I'm just
I'm
giving
pretty sure
you
they're
a. I'm just
called
giving you a
villagers.
bot. I'm just giving you a bot NPC response.
Mm-hmm.
Just bot
You just put
NPC
human.
response.
Oh, there you go. Bro, that's wild.
Jews put human meat in McDonald's.
That's it, dude. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I just had McDonald's last night.
Yeah.
Hannibal.
Yeah. How is it possible to take these people seriously though when they spam when it's just like, but dude, we can literally go on like Hamas-massacre.org and just like see everything that like you're stand for. Like it's like nobody needs to like say any talking points. Nobody needs to make an argument. Like we actually just have all the receipts for all the like outrageous shit these actual Palestinians do, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Samson, no joke. The one thing that gave me personally like the most nightmares, the thing that fucked me up the most, it actually wasn't the most horrific shit by Hamas. It was like literally that one specific video, and I have no doubt you fucking saw it, where that guy who he was wearing like I think it was like a reddish orange Tommy Hilfiger shirt, and he had like glasses on, and he was using like a shovel to behead a Thai
I saw that
worker.
one.
He was in Israel,
Yeah.
and I just remember like, dude, there's so many weird thoughts that went through my head where I was like, he has glasses, so like it made me in my head think he's like kind of like civilized, like I don't know, like maybe he reads or he has a job because like glasses can't be free, and he looked like a normal person, and his shirt was like a Tommy Hilfiger shirt. It wasn't like a I don't like he didn't look homeless or fucked up, but it's just like this outrageously normal man, and he's just using a shovel to like fucking stab to this guy's neck and yelling Allahu Akbar the whole time. He's not yelling Free Palestine, and that was the thing that like fucked with me the most, right? Because it wasn't like just them doing what they did. It was the fact that like it was the third wave, and the third wave wasn't like Hamas. It was actual just Palestinian. It was just their innocent Palestinians coming through. But anyways, like
Oh, this guy's
that
speaking
shit
in Hebrew in the chats, but I don't know what he's saying.
word. But yeah, like anyways, so like trying to even like take them seriously as they try to say anything bad, it's just like your side is like literal fucking animals. So like the whole like, oh, you're this, you're president, like, yeah, oh, you got me, man. BB's so bad. Yes, the president's bad. You're a good job, but it's like your entire fucking society is just like twisted and sick, like by all standards. Like no other country anywhere behaves that way, like none,
They said,
except for like these.
can you tell them why Israel has a right to exist? You can literally join in, guys. If you want to join in, you can click the link down below, Gregory. But sure, we'll tell you. Why does
Vinny, for
Israel
me, it
exist but
wasn't.
Palestinian can't? That's what they're saying.
They had
Because
the
it's a
opportunity to, and
made
they
up
squashed it.
identity. It's also a made up identity that, like, weirdly enough, yeah, Israel was willing to entertain that made up identity many times, but like, they're retards, right? Like, they rip sewage pipes out of the
Yep.
ground, convert them into rockets, make a propaganda video showing
That's why they
themselves
don't
do
have a
it.
right to exist.
Yeah.
Well, why does
For any country
Israel
to
have
have
a
a
right
right
to
to exist,
exist?
for any country to have a right to exist, it has to have many things that make up what a country is. That would be a military, a source of governance that is not messed up, schools and proper education, and also, again, infrastructure. I don't see Palestine having any normal sense of what that is.
Do you think there's any chance that Mossad took out? Do you think there's any chance that Mossad took out Charlie Kirk?
No.
It's so
Why would
retarded.
he?
It's
Yeah,
so
Why would
retarded.
ridiculous.
they? It
Ridiculous.
makes zero sense as to why they would. He was probably one of the most pro-Israel people on the market, and even though he did criticize
Literally.
when he wanted to, and he did it quite often, he was doing it for at least 3 years. He was one of the first people to question whether there was a stand down order on October 7th, right after it happened. And yet people think that he was killed by Mossad for criticizing the government a week earlier, even though the night before he was on a group call with a bunch of Jewish leaders on how to fight anti-Semitism. You really think Mossad would have killed him? To benefit them in any way? Would have benefited them. And it did not benefit them. It actually did the exact.
Is he cutting out just for me or is it for everybody?
Oh, it's for me too. Okay, I thought it was my stream. Yeah, it was him. You're cutting out, Samson. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Should I repeat what I said, or
Yeah, we didn't hear anything.
all right? I said to make the claim that Charlie Kirk was killed by Mossad makes you think that Mossad is actually totally inept if they did, because Charlie Kirk had praised Israel on multiple occasions. He was very pro-Israel, very pro-Jewish people. And yes, he did criticize Israel when he felt the need to. And he was one of the
Yeah,
first ones after October 7th. He was one of the first ones after October 7th to ask if there was a stand down order. So why does it make sense for Assad to kill him 3 years later when he's actually more dedicated to Israel, more dedicated to Jews? And also, why did he get on a group call the night before to discuss with a bunch of Jewish leaders on how to fight anti Semitism better? Does that sound like somebody that Mossad's like, we have to kill him, as opposed to the Tucker Carlsons or the Candace Owens out there? Why in the world would they target Charlie Kirk? Why does it make
dude,
sense?
I totally agree. I
Please tell me.
completely agree. 100%. Because the thing is, by the way, generally speaking, I think Jews are probably going to want what's good for Israel. So we kind of have like a similar mind in the things that like we think. And I think the exact same way, and I think pretty much every single Jew thinks the exact same way. Literally all, which is like Charlie Kirk was an absolute 100% bro. And like you want to criticize the Israeli government, so do we. Like, do you actually think there's one Israeli in existence who would literally say to you that they think their government is perfect? Is there actually even like a fucking human being in any country that literally deep down is going to say to you that their country's perfect? So it's like, yeah, dude, he's pro-Israel and he critiqued them a bit. Great. He was like a complete bro. It's completely retarded. Why the hell would we want him dead? Why of all people? Like he's the guy that like when people came up would just talk shit. He would literally be like, "Well, like, are you a Christian? Doesn't your book literally say like you should bless them and be blessed, or if you curse them, you'll be cursed? Like, do you not believe that? Right? Like That was him saying that shit. So for like Mossad to want him dead, just like literally makes no. It's like just another like never-ending libel, dude. This is like Jews putting like Christian baby blood in matzah bullshit. This is like that stuff where you're just like saying wild stuff. This is the Israeli army teaching dogs to rape people kind of stuff, where it's like we're really just going for it, just
You
saying
see
whatever the hell.
a couple of years ago, Egypt made a whole massive claim that Israel was training sharks to attack tourists on Egyptian beaches, and they
Right.
actually launched an investigation into it. The international community launched an investigation to see if Israel was training sharks to attack Egyptian tourists. Did you see that?
I
Why is
didn't,
it that
man.
these claims they get discarded when it comes to any other people? These claims are seen as completely bizarre and outrageous and not based in any normal reality. And yet, when
But
it
you know
comes
what?
to Jews, they actually launch an investigation. It makes zero
Sam,
sense.
be positive, dude. Like think about like what an insane compliment that is actually. Like
It
these
is,
people,
but it's also
they
ridiculous.
literally think that Jews are capable of training sharks to attack people. Like I'm not offended by this. In no way am I offended by this. That's awesome. Like to actually think that I can do that. Because I don't think that's a doable thing. But to think that we can, and the reason is because we're Jews, fuck yeah. Like I have no problem with this whatsoever. That's awesome.
Good point.
Yeah. yeah. Why not? You know? That's amazing. If only
If
we
they think
could
we're
Iran just
capable of,
bombed multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Apparently,
Oh shit, seriously?
that's what Chad is saying. All right,
Shit.
Dershawn, I'm gonna let you in here, but you're on stream.
Dershan? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's almost 11 p.m. for me. That means it's like 7:50 a.m. for Dershan.
it's 1 a.m.
Yep.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm about
It
to
is
hop off
11.
stream. Huh?
Yeah, me too. Is that Dershan? Is that the one and only?
The one and only.
That's you,
The
man.
man, the myth, the legend.
Apparently, the chat is telling me I'm a Nick Fuentes supporter, even though there's literally 3 Jewish people in here and we've been talking for hours. Apparently, I'm a Nick Fuentes supporter.
Oh, by the way, Graham, yeah, the IRGC launched missiles at two missiles at commercial ships going through the Strait of Hormuz
Were
just
they
now.
American?
So far, it's saying that it was a tanker from the United Kingdom. Sorry, no, it's the United Kingdom reported that a tanker caught fire. No report on who the ships were.
Hopefully not American ships, but if it's the UK ships, that's on them. They refuse to fight in this conflict.
Yo, speaking of Nick Fuentes, I really enjoyed watching that bizarre thing that happened with him and Dan Bilzerian. That was just wild to watch. They
Oh
have some
yeah, by the
infighting.
way,
The crazies have
yeah,
some
What
infighting.
happened?
by
What
the way, I just want
happened?
to mention we had in the
Wait,
we
wait,
had in the
wait.
comments
What
earlier
happened?
someone saying, oh, hold on. We had in the comments someone earlier saying that any Jew that goes to fight in the IDF is a traitor, and they should be prosecuted. I just want to point out to everyone in the chat that Dan Bilzerian went to fight in the Armenian War. So
Well, basically,
yeah,
Dershin. So what
there's
happened is, I guess, Nick Fuentes went off on this whole like thing, and they had some like tirade where it was also there was a third person involved too. I don't remember who it was. Where I guess Dan Bilzerian has this habit of what he does is he asks people to put his phone away, and then he was asking for like person. He was literally saying, "How do we take these people out?" and like pointing to specific people, like for example Ben Shapiro, and asking if like they can find out like his address and like personal details. And Fuentes was just
this was
like
a month
out of
ago.
it. Yeah.
I
Very
heard
fucked
that he
up,
was
man.
trying to take out people in Israel, like IDF people, like Benjamin Netanyahu, and like these
Yeah,
higher
and
up
Jake
Israeli
Shields.
officials.
Yeah, Jake Shields called him out
I
also.
challenge him to be. I challenge him to be a man and come to Israel. Let's see how it's
That's
gonna
not
end
gonna
up for him.
happen. He's gonna be in
Yeah,
prison.
so he's only paka.
He'll be in
It's
prison. That's if he's lucky, he'll go to prison. If not, worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Stick
That's
the
if he's
dog on
lucky.
him.
Yeah, no, He wouldn't have a good time in Israel, I don't think.
You saw
Wait,
what you saw what happened when
night for me?
Tal Oliveira went to Israel. And they said we'll let you in. He goes all the way there. And they're like, nah, we changed our mind, and they sent him all the way back. And he made a whole video complaining and whining about it.
Yo, I love this one comment. I just want to say in the side chat. It says, "How many genocide?" It's obviously supposed to be genocides, but Israel committed in Palestine since 1948. I just want to ask, how can you continuously? How many? So how does that work? Because I thought of genocide. Like, what do you think it is? Like, can you just do like a bunch? Like, how many do you think it is? Is it like 30?
He thinks it's the
At what
seven
point?
Arab nations that invaded Israel in 1948. He thinks the Nakba, or however you say it, was a genocide because the Arabs lost so badly they just got genocided.
No, I understand, but like just that question, how many genocides? It's like, aren't they all dead at a certain point if you keep genociding them? So what do you mean?
Seven genocides.
How many genocides? Like how many? Wouldn't you all be
Seven.
dead then? I don't
Every
get it. It's
single
like
one
how
of
do we
those
keep?
Arab nations around Israel, all seven of them
Yeah,
that were bordering Israel, all of them got
yeah.
genocided by
Like
the
I don't get how we.
Israelis.
Actually, Graham,
I
I
don't know
want to
what it is
correct you.
about us. We keep
It was
genociding them, and
seven
they keep
nations.
having a bigger population somehow. It's
Seven
just so
nations,
weird.
10 armies.
7 nations, 10 armies. Yeah, 10 freaking armies versus one tiny little Israel, and they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah, that was a
Isn't that pretty
genocide.
embarrassing?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
genocide.
it was such a genocide.
Such a genocide. Is BB paying y'all? I wish. Where can I pick up my BB check?
Dude,
I'll put my bank
I
information
mean,
link below.
I I personally, because I'm the only actual like Israeli on on the panel, I only get paid my 7 Gs if somebody actually comes up and debates me. Otherwise, I don't actually get paid. So right now, not really, dude. Right now, this is just for free. That's the only way
Oh
to get
my
my
god.
7,000 is somebody actually has to come up. You know, that's the only way. That's how it works.
Yeah, and if you're in the Discord server, just put in the chat that you want to debate.
I don't think anyone joined. They all said it was closed because some fucking idiot closed my Discord link. I don't know who it is, or maybe they're just scared to join. I don't know, but I kind of think at least one of them would have been dumb enough to join in here to try to debate us by now.
I'll be right back.
Word.
Well, now that's a
Yeah,
little
that's
dead.
you're
Let's
haters, bro.
see.
Join that Discord link. It may or may not work. When I click on it, it opens perfectly fine for me. So everyone else in the
I think
comment
it.
sections, click on that. Yeah, see guys, literally when I click on it, it works perfectly for me.
It might work for us because we already have the Discord, but I don't know. We gotta
Yeah,
try it
it
with a new
works.
profile. Anyways, on the note, since it's dying down, you might be calling it night soon. I was gonna comment on Vinny's response on the no tax on tip, right?
Mm-hmm. What about it?
So let's see. I was gonna say how. Let's see. I have it written down here. I had it ready. Um. So Vinny was saying he wasn't like words. He was arguing that all income should be reported to and taxed consistently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with no tax on tips,
Speak of the
uh,
devil. Oh, we got someone in the chat.
we
That's
got someone in the
Loverbot.
chat.
I
Yeah.
love
Thought it was someone new. It's no one new. Go ahead,
So
Scott.
yeah,
Sorry
first
if I
thing.
didn't
Yeah,
interrupt.
all good, all good. First thing about tips. Generally you have to it has to be reported. So if your tips are completely off the books, people who get paid cash on the table, nothing gets reported for servers, you're not going to report that. So when they do get reported, so restaurant, maybe you tip them on the credit card, that will be something that shows up on your pay stub. So a lot of times, a lot of tips already doesn't get tax because they're not reported. So there's that. Second thing is the law doesn't give you your tip back. It doesn't mean if you made like 15,000 in tips, the IRS sends you 15,000 refund. what
Yeah, you
is
still
actually
report your taxes. You still report your taxes, or you still report your tips, but you get it back in your tax returns.
so what actually happens is you use it as a deductible. So you deduct, for example, 25,000 of qualified reported tips income
Is
from
it
the federal tax
deductible or is it money that you get all back?
deductible.
Just
So I'll give you
deductible?
an example. Yeah, I'll give you an example. So say you made 35,000 in wages and 15,000 in reported tips. Your total income is 50,000. Under this deduction, your federal income tax would be calculated as if you earned about 35,000 instead of 50,000.
Wait, they get $15,000 standard tax deduction, and then they get another $15,000 tax deduction from their tax on tips, right? So if they're only making $30,000, that means it would be $30,000 tax free, correct?
Yeah, but remember the two
They still have to
caveats.
put they have
One,
to pay Social Security and Medicare. Yeah, I know that already.
yeah,
So
but not only that, but remember the caveat. It has to be reported on your pay stub. And who makes 15,000 in tips in a year? I mean, that's kind of a lot. Someone do
oh,
the math
plenty
for
of
me.
people. I know one lady
All right,
that makes $500 a day, literally just being a bartender.
but is that being reported on her pay stub, or is that just
Probably
people
a lot
putting
of it's
money?
cash tips. I don't know. I didn't get into her
That's
pockets like that.
so if it's cash tips, it's probably not being on their pay stub.
Probably
So
a
there's
lot of
that.
it's in card though. I don't know what the
Yeah.
percentage is. Probably a lot is in card.
So yeah. So going back to
Gu-
the examples,
Guys,
say they.
I gotta
Oh
get
yeah, go for it.
going.
All right,
Yeah, go
man.
for it,
Have a
man.
good
We're just
night.
talking taxes.
Thanks,
You
Yes,
too.
You
Justin, for
guys.
same.
coming on. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the chat.
Peace
Night,
Good
out.
guys.
night, guys. Also.
Bye.
Yep, yep,
Have a
yep.
good night.
Peace. Let me finish this talking point about tax on tips because it's a little bit misleading. So what that means is the save income tax you would have paid in those tips is not the entire amount. If you're in the 12% federal tax bracket, a 15,000 deduction saves roughly around 1,800. So if they made the reported tips on their W-2 is 15,000, they will get back 1,800, which is a good amount. But I mean, honestly, let's do the math real quick. What's 15,000 in tips? And it has to be
I don't know. I'm
reported.
kind of tired, man. I'm gonna hop out of here.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just want to make that last
But when you
comment. But
send me
yeah,
the
go
math,
for
when
it.
you send me the math on it, I'd be interested in it for sure.
Yeah,
Peace
I
out,
got a
everyone. Have
calculator.
a good night, though. Get
Peace
the
out.
likes up there. Subscribe. Adios.